What's up, y'all? It's Cecil West, Beyond the Harmony, beyondtheharmony.com, back again with a very special Decoding the Double Glock. Today we're going to be doing one of my favorite topics that we ever speak about. It's the night Notorious Thugs was recorded, and today what we're going to do is try to break down and decode who exactly is in the Notorious Thugs photos. Now, there's a bunch of different photos, and some of them have less people than other of the photos, but today we're going to be breaking down the big one, the army of thugs, the army of Notorious. I had to do a lot of research to pull this all together and make it happen, but I'm very happy to say that we figured out who most of the people in this photo are, and we're gonna go ahead, let's jump right in and let's start decoding them right now. So the first thing I want to talk about is the location where this was actually recorded. You know, if we look inside Life After Death, it says that it was recorded at Daddy's House Studio in NYC. And this is even something that we may believe after we look at this Lazy Bone interview where he talks about landing in NYC and hooking up with them and recording in the studio. However, if we check out the interview from Bizzy Bone on Jam TV, this is what he had to say about where they were at.
So I hop in the car and shit, I get in the limo. I got Capo in the limo with me. He was the only one that was with me at the time. So we was in LA together. He got into a little bit of trouble at home. I had to bring him out there with me.
And this is something also backed up by Steve LaBelle in his interview with DJ Mustard on Blurred Culture. He talks about them recording at the record plant in LA.
But I was in the Ramada Inn on Santa Monica Boulevard. So I just called everybody, found them, they started rolling into the record plant.
So I also wanted to take the time and I reached out to the record plant myself and asked them if this is indeed what had happened and where they recorded at least Bone's part of Notorious Thugs. And the record plant did confirm, and they also let us know that it happened in studio SSL3. Here's a floor plan of that studio just so you can see how big it was and what they were working with. So to be fair to Lazy, I will say that every interview I've ever seen or ever read talks about how much weed and liquor was in the room and how messed up everybody was.
After about 45 minutes of Biggie and me getting high and drinking.
Big had cases of Cristal, cases of Hennessy, pounds of weed. I'm like, oh, nothing's gonna get done.
Man, I just remember walking in and we go in and, you know, Big had it all set out. We saw the liquor and stuff and, you know, we dove right in and we did too much. We actually passed out.
And even Lazy himself recalls being in the limo when it was time for him to record. So you can see where little details over 25 years may have got a little messed up being that faded. So now that we know where this happened, let's talk about who's in the picture. I started by taking care of everyone I know, which was Archie Blaine, Soulja Boy, Manensky, Puffy, Tony Tone, Crazy Bone, Ken Dog, Mo Hart, Tombstone, Boogie Night, Steve LaBelle, Flesh and Bone, Lazy Bone, Bizzy Bone, Biggie, and Lil C's. I also thought this may be BG Knockout, but I wasn't 100% sure, and I only assumed that this is Stevie J, but again, I needed some sort of confirmation. So this is where the Beyond the Harmony alumni comes in, and I first reached out to Mo Hart and just asked him to confirm my list and give me a couple of the names that I didn't know. This is what Mo Hart had to say.
On the left-hand side, the four dots, I don't know who the two are in the far back, but the third dot is Stevie J. The fourth dot is Cat Coat, original Mo Thug member. And then the three dots on the right, the first dot is BG Knockout.
So unfortunately the audio of Mo Hart did get cut off, but almost simultaneously Archie Blaine was hitting me back and not only confirmed the list, but gave me the one that got cut off in the audio, which was Gates from the Graveyard Shift. So now I only have a few names left, and Archie and Mo Hart have no idea, and I even take the time to hit up Tony Tone and he didn't know either. This made me assume they had to be members of Bad Boy. So I start Googling Junior Mafia because I only figured they were there with the Mo Thugs as well. and I kept seeing his face in these Junior Mafia pictures, and I took the time to Google every single member of the Junior Mafia by name, but none of them looked like him. So from there I hit Instagram, and the page Junior Mafia fan page, looking for someone who might have tagged him in a picture. With a little searching, I finally find a tag for Invisible Bully. So I hit that page, and I see they've also posted the Notorious Thugs photo, and I know I'm onto something here. So back to Google, I look the brand Invisible Bully up, and I'm searching for a founder, and I find that he's not a Junior Mafia member, but instead longtime Bad Boy associate and Biggie's best friend, Damon D-Rock Butler, located on the right-hand side. One more down. So 2 left, and these may be the hardest because they're partially blocked by Stevie J and Menensky. I know Archie, Tony Tone, and Mohart had no idea, but because they were throwing up the fist, I thought maybe they're still a Mo Thug affiliate. So I hit up Jazz from Too True and told her my theory, but she said they definitely were not Mo Thug, but BG Knockout and Menensky had their own crews there and they may have been with them. I did hit up BG, Menensky, Busy Bone, D-Rock, and Soulja Boy trying to find the answer, but I didn't get a response from any of them on this. Unfortunately, this one got me and I was unable to confirm who they are. There's lots of theories to go on, and I know someone may say it was Capo, but don't forget what Busy Bone said about Capo being there.
As we walk up the steps and get into the studio, immediately I noticed Capo got on a Tupac shirt. So when he walked in, Lil C's immediately zeroes in. C's and Capo, they just keep looking at each other. It got to the point to where it was beginning to be so intense between them two that I had to send Capo in the limo. I just gave him a bunch of money. I'm like, go kick it, don't do nothing stupid. Go kick it, bring the limo back in 3-4 hours.
This could be any number of people, and we always hear about how many people were in the studio because both teams were so heavy.
The studio had to be about 60, 70 niggas in there.
Who do you think it is? Give me your guesses and theories in the comments below, and let's all work together and try to find out these last 2 people in the most notorious Bone Thug photo of all time. Does some of you wonder where Wishbone was? Well, check out what Steve Lobel had to say.
And Wishbone, who was Biggie's man, wasn't here, he was in Cleveland.
And I got one more for you. Who the hell is this guy? He just pops up out of nowhere. Well, Mohart had the answer. He said that it was their homie V-Loke from Cleveland. So that further tells you that those guys in the back could be anybody. On behalf of Beyond the Harmony, beyondtheharmony.com, my name is Cecil West, and this was the decoding of the Notorious Thugs photo. Make sure you drop your comments below and let us know what you think, and we will catch you on the next one.
Beyond the harmony for the fans, we celebrate. Uploading new videos every Thursday, so join us.
What's up, y'all? It's Cecil West, Beyond the Harmony, beyondtheharmony.com, back again to hit you with an update. That's right, we're back to talk about one of my favorite videos that we've done for the channel, the Notorious Thugs Decoding. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you go check it out because there's a ton of information that you're gonna need before you check this one out. The photo from that video was passed all over social media, and it was literally seen by thousands of people. Make sure you share the link and give props to Beyond the Harmony for all the work that we've put in to bring you these huge finds. Now, when we last left off, we had figured out all but 2 people in the photo. This was an amazing video and a grueling process, and I started to feel a little defeated when we couldn't solve the last 2. But the power of the channel is about to be shown. So shortly after the video, I received an amazing email from our website that reads, "Hope all is well, family. This is Mr. Majesty from the 7 Sign Regime. I was the person in the picture at the studio with Biggie, the one standing directly behind Stevie J. One love." This blew my mind, and I had to know if this was really him so we could confirm. Because after all, Busy said only Capo was with him, and we always like to double check our work at Beyond the Harmony. So when I tried to email him back, I got no response. I even tried variations of the email because it just wouldn't go through, and I continued to have no luck. So I did what I do best, and I found an old Mr. Majesty Facebook. It hadn't been used in years, but I reached out to the people that have been tagging him in photos recently, and they got us in touch with Mr. Majesty, who confirmed he is indeed one of the two mystery men in the background. Not only did he help us solve half of our mystery, but it birthed an awesome interview where he tells us a lot of amazing information about Busy, Seven Sign, and the night Notorious Thugs was recorded, including why he may have been left out of the Busy Bone story on GMTV. So make sure you check out that brand new interview with Mr. Majesty. So now we only have one name left to solve. Mystery Man, if you're watching Beyond the Harmony, hit us up. BeyondTheHarmony99@gmail.com, or leave a comment on this video so we can get you tagged in it as well. And of course, a decoding just wouldn't be fun without a... So a question I was asked frequently was who took the picture? Well, I did some digging, and I believe we at least have an unconfirmed lead. So while I was figuring out who D-Rock was, I was on the Invisible Bully Instagram and reading the comments on the Notorious Thugs photo. And this comment from Big Troy that reads, "Official, I think I took the picture." So I decided to check out Big Troy, and he has multiple pictures showing him as a Bad Boy affiliate. Now, I'm not really sure what his affiliation was. He's kind of a big guy, so maybe he's a bodyguard? Here he is with Biggie and Pac, but he's also got a plaque presented to him for Ready to Die. So he was close to the situation, and it makes sense that he would have been in Cali with Big, C's, and D-Rock. I reached out to him and I tried to confirm, but I wasn't able to make contact with him. And maybe he wouldn't even be able to confirm more than what was already in the comment. But I bet he has some great stories about that night. However, this looks to be a solid lead on who took the most notorious picture in Bone Thugs history. So check out Big Troy on Instagram, and let's work together to try to get confirmation and to solve the final name in the photo. On behalf of Beyond the Harmony, this was Decoding the Double Glock. I am Cecil West, and we will catch you on the next one.
Beyond the harmony for the fans, we celebrate. Uploading new videos every Thursday, so join us.
Disclaimer: we are regular guys who love to talk Bone Thugs and Harmony. We do not represent Bone Thugs or any Bone affiliate. We are also not Bone Thugs experts. The views and information you hear in this podcast may be based on personal opinion. Please feel free to leave corrections and clarifying information in the comments, and enjoy.
Beyond the harmony for the fans, we celebrate. Uploading new videos every Thursday, so join us. Beyond the harmony for the fans, we celebrate. Uploading new videos every Thursday, so join us. Beyond the harmony for the fans, we celebrate. Uploading new videos every Thursday, so join us. Beyond the harmony for the fans, we celebrate. Uploading new videos every Thursday, so join us.
What's up, y'all? It's Cecil West, Beyond the Harmony, BeyondTheHarmony.com, back again with the one and only.
Jonathan! Lippy.
And he is the co-hosting, coast-to-coasting, come-up creeper, never sour, always and sweeter, ladies and gentlemen.
I am Matthew Weaver.
And this is Beyond the Harmony Live, the undisputed, undefeated, #1 Bone Thugs podcast in the motherfucking world. We're here live impromptu because, damn it, we just missed y'all, man. We just missed y'all, and we said we gonna go live. We all got together for a little meeting on Sunday, and we said, fuck it, we're gonna go live, and here we are. there's not really an agenda. John's gonna say there's an agenda, but there's not really an agenda. There's no real topics. We just here for you, man.
Just want to let you know, Albo Army in the building. So I got to give the big shout out. You know, first grade, that's way back. Hopefully Albo calls in at some point during the show.
Yeah, we'll definitely take some callers tonight because you know we just here chilling, man. But you know, I think we'll get into some stuff. There's a lot going on. When did we go live last? It wasn't too long ago, right?
Yeah, no, I think when we did the 100,000, was that the last time when we hit the 100K and we did like a 100K celebration?
Yeah.
And I felt bad. Like, I felt like I didn't give you what you wanted, man. You're like, so tell me, bro, what's it like? You finally hit it. I'm still tired, bro. I'm still exhausted. So, but I'm thankful. So, still riding that high, bro. When we were in that thing on Sunday with you, and I seen your plaque, I was like, it felt better seeing you with the plaque than me with the plaque. I loved seeing it, man. That was dope.
Yeah, I got two plaques. I got one in my kitchen and one in my fucking office. So kitchen hallway, you know. And let me tell you what's weird about the YouTube plaque, right? Older teenagers, full-grown adults, they're just like, oh, cool, nice, that's cool. But the 9-year-old and the 10-year-old and like the 13-year-old in my life, they are like, yo, you are famous. They're taking pictures of my YouTube plaque, you know, just sending it to their friends. And I'm like, hey, you know, as long as somebody gets it.
Yeah. I think everybody in my life is like, great. Can we finally stop hearing about, you know, getting there? Like, oh, okay, I'm at 80,000, getting there. But yeah, it's over for them. How's it been for you, Matt? How's plaque life been? Do you still have it with the stand up?
Yep, I got it on the stand up. Working on a nice LED setup for it. I don't say
shit.
a word, and people, you know, I'll have someone come over and they see it on the shelf, and they're like, "Wait a minute," and they're like, "Yeah, I don't really, you know." I was like, "Do you want to hear me talk about a 1990s rap group nonstop?" and they're like, "No, not really."
Is that
And so
is that the weirdest thing? If somebody asks you and you explain to them, I always start with, well, it's a rap podcast. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Like, just like, and I'm like, oh, fuck, here comes the follow-up question. No, it's not just rap music. I talk specifically about the Bone Thugs and Harmony. And they're like, oh, what, what about them? And I'm like, oh, man, so much shit, you know? And people just, it blows people's mind that don't, you know, aren't into the Bone thing when I tell them about the podcast and shit and like how deep it really is. It's like it's almost like they're like trying to compute like there's people besides you that give a fuck about this thing that you're talking about. And I'm like, yes, 100,000 of them.
I think where I've had some good conversations on it, because it's sometimes people I don't know very well, some people I've known forever, and then I explain to them how everyone lives in a vacuum and we're all incredibly self-important, pompous type people, and we just don't, it's just normal. And they're like, there's a YouTube for anything. There's a podcast for anything. Just you would never consider it because it doesn't cross your mind on a daily basis. But I listened to Look Into My Eyes yesterday 3 times in a row. I can't help it.
Yeah, I listened to the whole Eternal album. Front to back a couple days ago. I got to Die, 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 and I was like, this is incredible. You know, this is just like, you know, I hadn't really appreciated it for what it was in so long. And when I just heard like, you know, Busy and Crazy, just like peak Busy and Crazy going in on Die, 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 I was like, man, this is what it's all about right here, brother. Like, this is fucking unbelievable.
Speaking of,
103,000 people agree with you.
yeah, we're about to hit 104. And speaking of,
Oh yeah, I saw
Eternal,
that. We're about to wrap up another 1,000 people without trying. We're about to
So-
wrap up another 1,000 people without
speaking of
trying.
Eternal, we're doing the series that RC wrote for the Eternal 30th year anniversary retrospective.
Yeah.
And the most recent one we put out was East 99. and I pointed out that the acapella is just incredible to listen to. I've said it a couple times on the show, but I listened to it again, and yeah, I listened to it again just to see. I'm like, man, am I overstating this? Am I blowing something up that's really not that good as I'm saying it is? And I'm like, I listened to it, and it's good. It's amazing. It's phenomenal, and I'm surprised it never got packaged as its own kind of thing, like on the side back in the heyday. But have you ever done the acapella for East 99 just on its own?
I, I don't know, but let me tell you what. When I heard that part, I was like, John must have added this part in about this acapella.
Mhm.
I was like, this isn't RC Thug stuff. This is
John Flavor.
this John added this shit right here, boy.
Yeah, well, as RC said, he's like, feel free to throw a little spice in. So
No, for
RC
sure. It's
puts,
just I knew that was the John piece of the fucking thing. I was like, this is John right here.
well, he put like a little note to me. He was like, at the very, very end, he said, did I find anything in the AI? No, other than confirming that John was right about the acapella being enchanted. So just did the ode. But yeah, it's good, man. If anybody that hasn't heard East 99 acapella, check it out. I think didn't they come out with an acapella album at one point, or was it just the instrumental album?
Who,
I feel
Bone?
like in the late 90s, like
Yeah.
an album might have instrumental version or at least vinyl.
I could have swore they came like DJ Unique or somebody created like an acapella of their greatest hits. Like
Unique did the
I know the
instrumentals 1 and
instrumentals for
2.
sure.
Yeah, I don't remember an acapella
I
one.
swear I had like an album, like I don't know if it was retail, but it wasn't like eternal acapellas. It was all their singles pretty much. I, I think Vegas was on there too. Like that's how bizarre this mix was. There was things on it where you're like, okay, and then whenever you get an acapella album, you think to yourself, are they gonna leave the space for like the chorus or the space where nothing happens? And they do. And I think that's what makes East 99 such a good acapella is that there's no break. That song just from beginning to end is just nonstop. There's not even a hook to the end, and they all do it, so it wouldn't get removed from. Like if you buy an album that has verse, chorus, and you're on that acapella part, you're just kind of there stuck. Especially if it was like a mid '90s rap song where the hook was just like the DJ scratching something, so you just have blank space. Whereas East 99, bro, that's just front to back, man, is killer.
Live
Probably
21
give
in the
some
building.
shout-outs. Yeah, give some
Uh,
shout outs to who's here.
yeah, Live 21 in the building. I always read his name as Lil B21 for some reason, up until one day you said that's Lib 21, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess there isn't another L in there. Who else did I see in here? Brian was in here. You shouted out Albo. I saw my boy Crazy in here. Cold Blooded. I don't know if Cold Blooded's still in here, but shout out Cold Blooded. Bunch of the homies in here. Hopefully everybody from the Discord is coming on over. Check it out. If you're not on the Discord, we'll drop the Discord link. A lot of fun goes on over there.
And just to respond to Lib in the comments, I know the acapellas were on the singles. I'm just saying that there was an album. I don't know if it was a retail or what, but I had it. I remember hearing it in the car, and it had East 99. It had First of the Month. It had Crossroads. It had, I think, Look Into My Eyes was on it. I think.
Of acapellas,
Yeah, it was just acapellas.
this is a fever dream you had.
I remember I have witnesses. I know Talia was in the car and she was the one that pointed out the East 99 one. She goes, this is like incredible hearing it without the instrumental. This is like, it sounds so magical. It sounds like this amazing thing.
This
So,
sounds like a thing you would have made.
yeah, it sounds like a dream, right? Like,
No, like
"Yes,
you
let's go finally."
like you burnt the CD yourself, like you were just
Nah, because I would never have put like some of the tracks on there that were on it. And maybe I feel like it was okay. I feel like it wasn't quite a retail release, but it wasn't like some internet person. It felt like the special delivery, like a fixed tape kind of thing. I don't know. If anybody remembers, and there was an album of just bone acapellas. It came out around the time the DJ Unique instrumental album. Now the DJ Unique one was kind of like an official release, but the acapella one. So nobody in the comments remembers a bone acapella fan made, Lippy fan made. Yeah. So, but yeah, just to cap off that whole, to wrap up, cap means something different nowadays. To wrap up the Eternal thing, obviously there's going to be 18 videos. RC Thugs that wrote all of it, all especially the next one that's coming out next week, the one on Eternal. You guys aren't going to want to miss that. Make sure you stick around to the end. RC found something in the audio that I don't think anybody in 30 years has found. So
Dun,
keep an eye out
dun,
for that.
dun.
Yeah. Oh, and one more apology. I think on the last live, or maybe it was previous, I was saying like, hey, we got some cool stuff coming soon, and I got this feeling like it said like, yo, don't be like Bone, bro. Don't tell me something's coming soon, and then it never happens. So yeah, these ones are coming, bro. I put that on RC. I got to do it for him. So he put a lot of work in.
Yeah, no, you guys have been doing a great job. Great job with all that.
And I wanted to segue. So we did that 100,000 celebration. That was our last live, and we enjoyed it. Beyond the Harmony for the fans. We're celebrating. So that's I think right after that 100,000. I don't know if it was me, us, or if it was Lib 21. Somebody came up with this great idea of like, yo, let's celebrate this 100,000 with a group BTH Beyond the Harmony meetup. And so we're like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. So we've been putting that together. I think it's 14 rooms, right? And I think we have 12 filled, so we need 2 more. Or how many? Do you know how many more people we need to sign up?
I have no idea. I haven't really kept up on it. I've been in other things, so once I buckle down, we'll be in it.
Joe Cal in the building.
Joe Cal in the building. We actually might move the house. It's just a house that's a little bit closer to the airport. It's the same fucking people and everything. But this is the nicest house. I'm struggling with the distance to the airport versus the niceness of the house. So I got to do a little bit of.
Let's back up and give a high level, because some people in the chat might not, or listening, might not even know what we're talking about.
Yeah. So the first question Crazy had, he's asking where the meetup is going to be. It's going to be near Orlando. There's small cities called like Kissimmee and Davenport. That's where we currently have it scheduled.
It's Davenport, right?
Yeah, Davenport.
But Kissimmee would be like more ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the company has houses in both of them. So Crazy, you're missing out. You got to get you some Discord. You're acting like Discord costs fucking $200 or some shit. The shit's free. Crazy, get on there, hang out with your boys.
Crazy, I'm gonna get you an invite real quick. I'm gonna paste it. Anybody that's in the chat here and they're not on the Discord, you're missing out on the best Bone community ever assembled. This is the Avengers. This is the Justice League. This is the A-Team, the PhD Boneheads.
Yeah.
So Crazy. It's simple, man. It's like a chat room, but it's self-contained. But you could also do it through the browser. There's an app for it. You could do it on your phone.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of.
It's like a message board in the chat had a baby.
Yeah.
It's a really just souped up version of a message board, but like with ease. Like I always used to think that message boards were kind of a pain in the ass, and Discord kind of fixes all that. So it's nice. It's nice. The Discord link is in the chat. There's an invite for everybody, and
we got a few spots left to fill up. So if y'all want to be part of this meetup.
Yeah, we're doing a meetup.
Do it quick.
It's going to be limited people. It's 3 days. It is in a giant mega fucking house that's got a movie theater and like 20 fucking rooms and big screen TVs and a fucking pool.
And we're getting it heated because it's going to be in February of 2026. So in case you want to hop in the pool and not freeze.
I won't freeze. Only you'll freeze. Only Floridians that are like used to this will freeze. If you're me, you're going to be like, it's so fucking hot. You're going to have big Cecil with his belly out just floating in that fucking pool like, what's up?
Oh, I got to get a cannonball on camera. Oh, no cameras.
But yeah, we got the heated pool for everybody. We're going to be there for 3 days. We're going to do a ton of different, Beyond the Harmony / Bone things together. We're going to do a live version of the show. So all of the people that are in our real world style house for these 3 days. We'll be part of the live studio audience. So this will really, really be Beyond the Harmony Live with a live studio audience. And if everything goes good, we'll have a special guest there for at least one day. It's going down in February of 2026. It is $1,000 to be a part of it. And I know you're like, oh shit, brother, that's a lot of money. You got plenty of time to pay it. It's a $250 deposit, secures your room, and then you just make payments to John. And yeah, man, it's gonna be incredible. I'm gonna do some amazing stuff. We're gonna have some exclusive merch at it for everybody that went. A guest appearance, dude. We're planning some stuff out. I'm gonna, we're gonna do some corny stuff, some non-corny stuff. We're gonna watch I Tried together as a family. We might watch some other movie that a bunch of you may have heard about that have never seen before. We're gonna listen to some albums together. We're gonna do all kinds of cool shit. I'm really excited, and we're plotting out what it's gonna be, and who the guest or guests with an S might be, and we'll see what happens. It's the first one. I'm hoping that it goes. We get the ball rolling, and it only gets greater from this moment.
Yeah, hopefully this becomes a tradition. Hopefully, if not annually, maybe biannually, but I think we might do this annually, and this may even transcend beyond Bone's career. You know what I mean? If this thing works out real good, this was one of the things Cecil and I started Beyond the Harmony to do, was to create like the Bone Alliance, the Ultimate Fan thing, and here we are. Like, this is actually, hitting the 100K is a pretty wild thing. I don't even think that was in our plans, but this was in our plans. And to see that we actually we built over the years now a community big enough to start a tradition like this in cool locations like that, and having, we didn't even scope out this location. This is from the Beyond the Harmony crew that scoped out the spot, and so it's neat when everybody's contributing cool stuff to do and know about, and that's the power of community. And this is the right time. We hit the milestone, and now it's time to do the celebration. And
this wasn't even my first pick. This wasn't even my first pick. My first pick was, let's do this in Vegas. Okay, let's stay in the Luxor. It's a fucking pyramid, right? Let's stay in the motherfucking Luxor. But then, somebody, I don't even remember who, somebody posted this house, or not even this house, I don't know, but maybe just a house, and I start, going through the website and we find this house, or maybe they posted this one, I don't know. But I was like, yo, this thing is amazing. It's a giant villa. This is what we stay in. This is great. We're gonna do a ton of cool shit together. I'm hoping. I got a lot of shit. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to like promise things that don't happen. But I know it's gonna be great, and I'm working on things to make it even greater. Like I'm really excited. We're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it no matter what. Like we're gonna be there doing this no matter what. Joe Cal with a $50 super chat. Shout out to motherfucking Joe Cal.
Cold-blooded, you got to make this first one, bro.
Supplying.
If anything, you could use this as a backdrop for your next music video, like a posse cut. We'll walk down the street like it's an old NWA video. You got the whole BTH crew behind you.
I need to be in the next Cold-Blooded video so bad. He doesn't even know.
Yeah, Cole, bro, shoot your next video at the meetup, bro.
Yeah, the house is gonna be beautiful for a music video. So,
bro, if you're not there for the first one, it ain't gonna be the same, man. You got to be there, man.
Hey, Cold-Blooded, man, I heard you were working with those whatever those guys were called, some number, the 7 or something, and you should do a song with them and film the video down there. That'd be dope. So. Yeah, hit us up, Cold-Blooded. Let's make sure it works. We got everybody. Like I said,
far away.
It's far way away. $250 is the deposit, and it locks in a room for everybody. So it only takes $250, and then make little payments to John's PayPal or whatever he sets up. Just a little bit at a time. Like we got this. So you in reality you got until a week before to get this thing paid the fuck off. If you halfway paid and we a week out and you saying, don't worry, Cecil, I'm gonna have the money when I get there. I might not be cool with you coming, but you got a long time to pay off this money. So
Yeah.
you know,
Well, whoever gets the 250 in for the down payment, because this is a go. Like this is a done deal for the
yeah, we
most
locked
part.
it in.
We locked it in. The down payment's in.
We're going no
So
matter what. Okay,
yeah.
Matt, and John are gonna be in this 20-person fucking house in February, no matter what. So hopefully somebody's there to film or to fill up the other 17 fucking rooms that are in the place. You know,
Indeedy.
Cold-Blooded said we're gonna listen to the Kaz discography together. We got 3 days, so don't fuck around. It could happen.
Don't test me.
I don't know if that's enough time, bro. He's got so many albums. I don't know if you ever digged into the discography. It's enormous.
I know you have. Why do you think why do you think Kaz is so intriguing to us as Beyond the Harmony hosts? Like I know the three of us all have a different you know, we're all interested in some level over here to talk to Kaz. When everyone's answer is just like, dude, he's just a fucking scammer, liar, motherfucker, and I'm just like, yeah, doesn't that make you want to talk to him more?
Yeah, well, that whole part, that doesn't even bother me, right? He's intriguing because he's kind of, well, the lying part aside, he's kind of got our spirit in a way. By meaning that is, he's kind of like an entrepreneur, and
Oh,
he's
hey, if you should work out, John, there must be a better way than PayPal so that we're not paying all those fees. You know what I mean? So
actually everybody that's contributed to the other thing, there was no fees. The only one that got a fee was man, I don't want to say his real name. The very first person that did
If
it.
it's personal to personal issue, you should be able to check friends and family. But
Yeah, I'll
if
put the
not,
PayPal link in the thing.
hit us up. If not,
I'm
yeah,
gonna put the
no, we
link in.
we got a lot of different ways we can take payments.
yeah.
The last thing I want to see, John, is us to pay a shit ton of fees, for people's lodging and shit. It's not like we're making money from it. But anyway, Kaz, keep going.
All right, so okay, I'm not the hugest fan of his music, but his music is passable, ish, right? And he's a great storyteller. Whether the stories are true or not, he's a great storyteller. I'm just intrigued by the dude because he loves himself so much, it seems. And
Crazy.
I'm a fan of ego. The only reason why I'm a fan of ego is because society tries to destroy your ego and say that you're not allowed to have it, you're not allowed to be an individual. So I'm heavy on the individualism, and Kaz is like a personification of it. I don't think I'd want to be around the dude every day, but he's got that old spirit of self-centeredness that is annoying if you have to be around it every day. But it's the stuff that's made of stars. Like stars have to have that kind of ego. And like in his mind, I bet you he swears he's nicer than every rapper alive. I'm not gonna even say the Bone Members. I bet you in his mind he thinks he's the greatest. That level, that I watch athletes, I watch sports. Like you got to have that mentality. You're supposed to remain humble, but every now and then you get individuals, and that kind of stuff amuses me. Wrestlers are like that. Andrew Dice Clay, what made him so hilarious was the over the top ego. So that's why I like Kaz. I don't even see him as a rapper. I see him as an entertainer. And simultaneously, I'm not even trying to sell anybody on Kaz. I know nobody likes him, but I personally find his antics entertaining. I wasn't around for all the Mothug stuff. All that happened when I was in the warehouse. So any bad feelings, I wasn't there for that. I don't know. I know people like despise him for something. I wasn't around for that. I was missing in action those years.
Well,
I think he'd make the perfect guest. He'd have like if we just gave him a platform and let him talk his side of the story, it would only contribute to. Yeah, I know you did, but that also means that goes back to his thing about how he's just cast first, like what John was saying. He's probably business first before he sees himself as an entertainer. Nothing wrong with that. We're all businessmen in our own way, right? But whatever he did or didn't do, it's such a long time ago, and you never know the whole story.
He did what Cecil and I did when it comes to the albums, right? Like let alone he made way too many of them, but he seized the opportunity when the technology came out, when streaming came out, when making your own CDs came out. You know, that's how we even came up with the name Beyond the Harmony, was from behind the harmony. And we've told the story many times, and we seized that opportunity. So like, I just see, he's kind of like a la carte everlasting, like Tech Nine says. He's in the same mentality of entrepreneurism, like that kind of thing. That's what I like about him, is that he makes things happen. He made it happen with the tech. He was doing things the way I used to do them in the 90s, minus the chicanery, but seizing the opportunity, taking the technology and running with it. That's what I like about him.
I think the thing that's interesting to me is, there's so much hate and disdain around the guy, right? And he just openly flaunts this MoThug thing, right? And there's just so many questions. And he recently put out a video, and he's tripling down on, hey, big boy, Lazy Bone sold me this. Y'all see he don't put no MoThug projects out anymore. Like, there's a reason. And for me, even though a huge piece of me feels like, okay, the guy would lie to me no matter what, right? Like, no matter what the truth is, I'm not going to get it. Like, I think that people sometimes think that I believe everything that every guest has ever told me. And I'm like, dog, I'm a fucking journalist. I'm not going to, my job is to get the best interview, not to be the law and order. I'm not a judge. I'm not the court. I'm not here to, and you'll notice in our interviews, like, I'll ask a question in a way that kind of like presents itself as like, well, so and so says this, or this has been heard, and that's me kind of challenging something they just said, right? But I'm not just going to be like, dog, you're a liar. Or and the flip side of that is, again, I think people think that I believe every fucking thing that's ever been said to me on the show. But for me, the layers of every part of the story is important, is still the most important thing about what we do, right? Is like, okay, like Crazy just said, if you bring him on, you might have to mute the chat, right? And that's because people are just going to hate so hard, right? And just like John, I'm like, I wouldn't want to interview him to play devil's advocate so you walk out of it liking him. That's not like my goal. My goal is to unlock the next piece of the story that you don't have. There's a whole part of the story you don't have. Doesn't mean you got to like it or believe it, right? But it's like that piece hasn't been unlocked because the people that interview him, either one, I don't know if you guys have followed any of the Kaz shit. There was a while where I thought I was going to get him on the show, so I watched a lot of big Kaz stuff. And so he's been interviewed on a lot of platforms, and the stories that he tell go far past Bone Thugs and Harmony, right? He's got, he knocked out Suge Knight. He fucking Ice-T's his best friend, which he does have a lot of pictures with Ice-T, but so it's like it's more than Bone. And I'm like, oh, because this shit is bigger than Bone, they don't ask the Bone questions, right? They ask the Kaz equivalent of the bus story, but from Kaz's world, right? And I'm just like, hey, nobody's ever just directly asked him some of this Bone shit that I'd be able to ask him. And when I presented it to him on the show, like, or about coming on the show, I was just like, hey, man, and again, because I'm the media, I'm trying to be very impartial. I'm not like, yo, motherfucker, come on here and defend yourself against the Bone fans. Nah, I'm like, hey, man, respect what you've done. Da, 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 da. I always try to acknowledge what a guest has done, or a potential guest. And I said, I'd really love people to come, for you to come on and people to hear your side of things. And now, mind you, this is a couple of years ago, but he said, I got nothing else to tell anybody. I'm all set with that. But now he's doing this little MoThug distribution revival. Okay, if you guys have ever wanted to release a song through MoThugs, you can do that through Kaz, and down in the little streaming area, it will say you were distributed by Mo Thug Records. So I don't know. Maybe I could get him on, and I would love to just see what he thinks. That's all. Yeah, and I think that most people that hear me ever talk about Kaz are like, man, Cecil, fuck that. I think you'd walk away from that interview going, damn, that was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. He also reminds me, remember when I worked with Ghostwriter?
Yeah,
Not all the ghostwriters that the internet probably knows, but he's a lot like that dude.
yeah, I can see that.
And so, hey, RIP Easy E says, hey, I went to the location of the Thuggish Ruggish Bone video shoot here in Cleveland, Ohio in 94. I went today and smoked half a blunt, took a few photos and left. Nice.
It's a thuggish ruggish bone.
Yeah. Thuggish Ruggish Bone. I thought of Mike Tyson.
That's
on
cool.
That,
I'll say this, man. It's cool that you went there. You know, everybody brags that they go to the sign. But I haven't heard many people say I went to where, you know, Thuggish Ruggish Bone and shit like that was filmed. So, you know, pretty cool. I'm sure you went to the sign too, but that's cool.
is at the very end of East 99th by car off MLK. Nice.
Yo.
Nice. So speaking of East 99 and Cleveland and all that, I did see Crazy was on a podcast called Sam Sile. And is this thing called the Spread the Love Foundation? He had one of the guys that's part of, is that the name of it? Or
He's involved with that.
Yeah. And so he had some of the people that are from the organization with him. And the guy said that they bought up like 37 properties. So they literally bought up the block. Not like a rapper saying it, but they literally bought up the block. I don't know which blocks they bought up or which properties they bought, but 37 properties, that's a lot of properties to scoop up there at this stage, 6 years in. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's involved with that somehow. I don't know if he's a founder or what, but when I was clicking all the Instagram posts and everything, I saw that Crazy Bone was involved with that in some way.
Yeah, and you know, I haven't seen them yet. I have them in my watch later. This is how busy I've been. There's 2 new Crazy Bone music videos. Now I did see a couple seconds of Refuge from the Rain, and I think I put it in the Discord, joking around, trolling, asking if it's the same umbrella that Crazy has in Change the World as it is from Refuge from the Rain.
Oh yeah, I was like, what a fucking John ass thing to.
Yeah, and if we're talking about like, you know, items in the video game, if we were making the strategy guide for the Bone Thugs and Harmony universe, now that umbrella has appeared, you know, in 2 episodes now. So now this umbrella has continuity in the lore. It's a special item that Crazy possesses that brings him some form of power and shields him from the rain. So
I guess
Crazy in that umbrella. Did
guess.
anybody wonder that though? I know I'll say the wacky stuff out loud. I say it for those that think it, that don't want to sound nutty. So if anybody thought of that umbrella and wondered, is it the same umbrella from Change the World? Let us know.
What else we got going on? I saw Bone. I saw, what's the guy's name? He dropped. I sent y'all the skit. Both of you had said, "Oh yeah, I already saw it." From his Netflix show or whatever.
Mulaney.
Yeah. And he was describing how he tried to get Bone to come on and be part of the skit, and he basically got almost got conned, scammed or some shit. And then it looks like they turned around and made it happen. And somebody said, I don't know if it was a comment or somebody affiliated with a show or whatever, but they were like, yeah, it was like some affiliate or somebody around them was basically saying they could get this done, and they were just kind of scamming money. And and it
That would have been the most Bone thing ever if that happened, right?
Oh my god!
But then we never would have heard this story.
Jesus,
it's only funny because it didn't go through, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, but it worked out, which is great. So
Yeah.
Is it out? Is it out yet, or have we just seen pictures? We haven't actually seen them on the show yet. Is that the deal?
I think it aired. I've been so busy, but if someone sends me the link, I'll sit down and watch it. But I think it's got to be promo for that like big tour they're doing with the other big name West Coast artists. Like they either were or gonna be like in Honolulu.
Yeah, Exhibit
Uh,
in Australia. Them, Exhibit, and someone else in Australia.
yeah, I think isn't that one a ways out? Like right now, they're at a couple of them that were near Texas. They were all 5 members as well. So I bet you it's promo for that because there's a lot of money behind whatever, what's it called, West Coast Legends or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah,
You guys know what I'm talking about?
yeah. I love when they're part of shit like that. They have they ever done the and I don't even know if they still do these tours anymore, but remember like the I love the 90s, I love the 2000s tours?
Mhm.
Um and they did it like as one show and it picked up so big it became like an all the time tour with different people. Has Bone ever done one of those? What would they be on? I love the 90s tour, I guess.
They've been on some pretty poppy, like marquees before. I know that, but
Those
I'm not
tours are
sure if it's
cool
actually been
because
titled that.
if it's I love the 90s, it could be Bone and anybody. Like that the thing you're talking about, West Coast Legends or whatever, I'm sure it's like, Bone and Ice Cube and,
Yeah,
Snoop
Snoop
and
and Ice
yeah.
Cube.
But this I love the 90s shit. The last time I saw Bone, they were opening for fucking TLC. I
Yeah.
was just like, this is it is cool. You compare them with a lot of people, man. You could put Bone with TLC, you could probably put Bone with some rock group as long as they did like Body Rot and Thug Love all night, you know?
When you go to those like the retro shows like that, is there more access to like the artists? Like do they come out and chat
No,
with the older crowd since
no,
everybody's like 40 and 50?
fuck no. This was
Oh,
like this was a big ass show, man. Like Bone still does these big ass shows. They were the opener. This is the last time I saw them. No Busy, of course. They were on this TLC tour. They opened. I was a little disappointed that they had full blown like opener status, like. And what I mean is, it was just like Bone and the DJ booth and like the Bone logo. So I was just like, this is pretty low key setup. And then TLC came out and it looked like the fucking VMAs. Like I couldn't believe everything that was going on. This was amazing. TLC was absolutely fucking incredible. But as I watched TLC with that big, you know, elaborate stage setup, and I was just like, man, I hope we get the opportunity to see Bone like this one more time, because the last time they were probably like that was, when with Ruthless. I don't even know if during Strength and Loyalty they had tours that had that elaborate, like you remember the Art of War stage set up with the big skull and all the shit. And
I thought their versus setup was good. Like didn't they had a decent versus setup at
yeah, but
comedies?
but that was, that's
They never
versus.
used it again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, now the most that you see is like they have like a big screen behind them that's got, whatever. It looked like they may have been using some of the Blaze videos and stuff, which are cool. But I'm just saying, like, when I saw TLC, man, they had these big pillars and all these fucking stairs that went up to different platforms and all this shit. And so,
They don't play at venues big enough for that unless they're on these giant festival type
yeah,
bookings. But like the medium-sized venues they play, there is no, other than a projector backdrop, there is nowhere to display anything.
yeah.
There's, there's 10 guys on stage at a minimum at any given time. There's nowhere to put anything.
It would just be great if, even if they were the opener, Snoop and Bone or something, if like they got the nice stage treatment, which you can do for more than one act. I saw, it was weird, Lil Wayne and Blink 182 together on tour, and there was a pretty big stage like changeover because they both had obviously giant, elaborate stage setups, like really, really impressive. Um, who else did I just see like that? Last year I went and saw the Suicide Boys, and they had like an amazing stage setup too. Fucking pyrotechnics, and you know, anytime somebody shoots some fire and it's unexpected, you're like, oh fuck, could feel
Yeah.
that. That's real. It's real fire.
Speaking of the fire, when HD television first came out, there was a channel that was free. It came with, I guess they used it to promote it. It was around the time Ludacris was famous and Pink, and there was a Guar performance that I only heard about Gore through Roughly. I don't know if you remember Roughly, but I know Albo does. But he used, Gwar. So Gwar was on, and man, they had. If you ask me what is the most amazing performance you've ever seen, it was that Gwar performance on HD Music Channel. Blew my mind. They had like these axes, these golden axes that were also microphones and also guitars, and they also shot fire out of the bottoms of it, and like everything, the whole entire performance was like nonstop fireworks and nonstop fire. I don't know how those guys didn't get burned, or the whole entire crowd. I don't know if you ever seen a Gore performance, but it was mine, and it might not stand the test of time now, but it was like the first time seeing HD TV at your house in like 2005, 2006. It made me think of it. Did Gore ever do a track with Bone in the 50 million features that Bone's done?
I hope not, man.
That was the only time I ever heard Gore, by the way. I don't even know, other than from Roughly. I think, did Beavis and Butthead used to talk about Gore all the time on the cartoon?
Seems to be on
I think
the.
so.
Seems to be we're getting like some sort of weird echoing
Oh.
in the live feed. I don't
Did
know what
Beavis and Butthead ever do a Bone, like watch Bone on the show? Or was that before the time? I know they did Cypress Hill. They did Insane in the Brain. And my favorite one was when Beavis and Butthead watched Beastie Boys Check Your Head. Like, man, everything is like in slow motion. Or not Check Your Head. So What You Want from the Check Your Head album. Are you still getting the echo? I was just talking to do your echo. I don't hear anybody now.
yeah, you guys, let me work on this while you and Matt
Yeah.
conversate it, because I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Was it us talking? Yeah, no. The Mulaney thing, I never got around to seeing it. Did you see it, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, I watched. I didn't watch the entire special. No, I only watched his bit. I guess you'd call it his stand-up bit about how he almost got conned or scammed.
Oh, I saw that one. But were they ever on the show? Like, did he ever connect up with them? And did they make it on?
Yeah,
Was it
I
for a
only saw
performance or an
the
interview?
the pictures so far.
Ah,
I don't think they performed, but I could be wrong. I'm sure someone in the chat.
so like they were, it's like an interview, because that'd be interesting to see like the dynamic between
Of
that.
like an
And
ultra famous person interviewing them instead of somebody who's someone like just on YouTube, right?
well, yeah, well, Adam Carolla did a one-on-one with Crazy, which is bizarre. I don't know how
That's a
they got teamed up.
weird.
Yeah.
I gotta find that. Man,
And he even kind of poked holes in the bus ticket story.
Good.
It's I thought he was just like reading the script of like, all right, I got to ask this guy these questions, whatever, and fill in time. But he was like really listening intently to what Crazy was saying. And as he's listening, he's like, so wait a minute, blah, 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 blah. I don't remember what the exact situation was, but he actually was engaged, thinking through the entirety of what Crazy was telling him. It's worth seeing it. It was entertaining.
It says November 28, 2022, which is actually super recent. I don't know how that one got by me, but
I didn't realize it was 3 years ago already. Man, time flies. And then
that seems recent to me.
Was the Adam Sandler? I saw pictures of Bone and Adam Sandler, and I had just found out about the song "Phone Wallet Keys" by Adam Sandler. It's like a rap song. You ever hear it?
Yeah, yeah.
Phone
yeah, I
Wallet
forgot
Keys.
about that.
When I was in Vegas, one of my friends, I was talking to him about Bone, and he was talking to me about, yeah, you ever hear these Adam Sandler tracks? And I'm like, nah, I had his first album, and he's like, yeah, Phone Wallet Keys. And then it's just coincidental that Adam Sandler and Bone appeared in a photo like the same week of the trip. So that's a trip, Adam Sandler. I wonder if Adam Sandler will drop like a tongue twisting Bone style album.
He's too slow for that, I think. I'm looking at pictures while we chat. It looks like they perform, but I'll have to check it out. I've been so busy lately, like sitting down and watching something hasn't really been a priority. But the pictures, there was a bunch of famous people there, like A-list type people.
So I saw that Byron Malk asked a couple questions. One, he wanted to know if the I guess the Bone members' childhood homes are still standing. I don't know. Somebody from Cleveland might know. I did see when I was making all those shorts, I did
stations. That's just magic. Are we always on Thursday?
Somehow I think
I was just like,
Cecil,
yeah, I'm free.
yeah, is pre-programmed like naturally to think along those lines. So
Yeah,
perhaps
it's
that's why.
ingrained. It's in the DNA at this point, right? This many years.
Yep. So, and so right when I started talking, what was I talking about? Cecil's working on the.
If you guys can hear me, cold-blooded, what was called Station Zero? Was I talking too much and I missed?
I think our audio's back. Yeah, I hear audio now. All right, so crazy. What was I talking about? So audio restored, childhood homes. Okay. So I saw Crazy did a tour of, his old neighborhood. I think it was from the Gemini DVD. I can't remember. I might be wrong on that, but that's not 2025. That's probably 20 something years ago at this point. You don't have to feel like you're spamming the comment section. No audio again. Great.
Okay.
Uh,
It might
yeah.
not be
My audio is whacked. We may
it
have to
might not be
call it.
you, John. Yeah.
Okay. So Cecil said the audio is whacked. We may have to call it. Okay. Oh, Byron says we're back. Let's see. It hasn't caught up on my side yet. Testing, testing. Yeah, you. There we go. Section, no audio. All right, so Crazy says it's back again. The Ouija curse is starting to hit us. Check this list here. Made sure I hit them all. All right, so the Adam Sandler with Bone thing. What did they do? Adam Sandler had a show. Like I don't even know. Was it just a photo op, or was that part of the Mulaney show?
I assumed it was all part of the Mulaney promo for them,
Okay.
which is hopefully it got Steve Lobel written all over. That was genius, by the way.
Eli Green in the building.
Eli.
Cecil, are you back yet, or are you still working that audio? Because all these topics, I don't want to leave them out on it. But test. Let me just make sure we're still going. Audio. Did you listen to any Bone this week, Matt?
Yeah, I listened to Look Into My Eyes
Look
3
Into My
times in a
Eyes.
row yesterday. I was just walking and listening to an audiobook and for
I think I
just no
fixed
reason.
it. I think I fixed
go.
it.
Oh, he's back again.
So Matt, which version do you prefer? The clean version
Oh man.
or the dirty version?
Man, when I called out to Spotify or I told Siri to do what I wanted, she played the clean one. I just let it play. But no, I didn't prefer it. No.
What's I've forgotten about is that little ding after each like fourth measure. That was like a real signature kind of sound. But
I loved that, man.
Yeah.
I couldn't explain. I didn't want to explain it. Like when that came out, I was like, man, this movie's gonna be horrible, but this looks. I love this song. I loved the imagery from Look Into My Eyes so much. I think that's why it hit so hard.
I always wanted to see what the other side of the when they're rapping on the top of that building. Yeah, I wanted to see who they were talking to. But Cecil, you back? You got the audio?
I'm back. Let me tell you what is so crazy about my job, okay? Let me just tell y'all. 50% of why I don't show me is because I don't want you guys in my everyday life, right? But you're going to see me at the meetup. But the other 50%, and we talked about this before I come on the show, is I'm doing so much shit in the background that I look like a full-blown fucking maniac, okay? And when I realized there was this echo, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And this goes further because after we did the 1,000, I said, John, did I sound tinny to y'all? He goes, no, you sounded great, but in the fucking playback, you sound tinny. And I was like, why the fuck is that? And then we're doing this, and I'm listening, and I'm like, I sound tinny again. And there's an echo. What the fuck is going on here? And I try to fix the echo, and John, I don't know if this is going to make sense to you, okay? But I was using wireless Beats by Dre headphones. And they sound great, okay? They sound great. But somehow it was picking up my fucking headset microphone and the microphone I talk through. Almost like the output to Zoom was the Yeti, but the output to the YouTube was the Beats by Dre. And the Beats by Dre were looping, so they were getting the desktop audio, which is y'all, and my headphone audio 20 seconds later. But when I went to switch it, so I plug in my wire Beats by Dre, and that's when all y'all audio went out because I had to tell OBS that I had switched the sound to a different headset. So that's why your audio kept going out. But now I came back and I listened to the cue and I sound good. I sound like on my regular headphone, on my regular headset again, or my regular mic rather. So yeah, I guess I can't use my wireless headphones during the show is the moral to this story, guys. But thanks. See, this is why too, this is like being a comedian. Comedians, before they do the arena, they do a bunch of little places and work the bugs out. And I'm always kind of grateful for the off-season shows. We learn a lot, especially in the technical setup. Y'all know that by the grace of the Skull and Crossroads Society, it paid for me to get the brand new desktop computer that I run the show off now. And so I've been doing a lot of converting over to that. And so there's been, little technical hiccups here and there. And that was one of them. But yeah, it's all good. These headphones don't sound as good. They got a little bit of white noise, but that's okay. I'll tough it out.
Well, speaking of the cool audio things that you were doing, I don't know if did the audio when the Notorious Thugs intro was playing, was like your commentary pumping through to the audience, or was that just between us?
Oh, like when I was talking about it? No, that was behind the scenes for you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were just hearing the actual video for the pre-show.
Dang.
Do y'all like the pre-show, by the way? The little pre-show thing where I'm playing videos while you guys wait?
I like it. I know you're not asking us, but it makes me, it kind of gets me warmed up, seeing cool things that we did in the past, even though I've seen that video, many times for whatever reason, when you watch something with other people, you see it through like a different lens and you experience it different. Yeah. So I enjoyed seeing it. And I also enjoyed your commentary. You found some guy, D-Rock. Is that the guy's name?
Yeah.
Is he's from Bad Boy?
Yeah. So when I was decoding the picture in the first video, because the second video is basically just about us discovering Majesty, whereas the first video is naming everybody. And after I get through the majority of the Mo Thugs and all that, I have to narrow down D-Rock. And of course, I thought D-Rock was a member of Junior Mafia until I did the video, right? I always assumed that the guys that weren't Mo Thugs were all in Junior Mafia. You had Lil C's there, you had Biggie there. It's got to be, right? And I find out it's this guy D-Rock, and when I investigate D-Rock a little bit, it's just like, oh, he's Biggie's friend, he's Puffy's friend, he's a bad boy guy. We don't know what we know about Bad Boy and Puff Daddy in 2025 when I made this video a couple years ago. And I went from not knowing who this D-Rock guy is to his name is just all through this fucking Puff Daddy trial that he is like a right-hand man of this just crazy behavior. And yeah, it's just wild how I went from not knowing anything about the guy to, oh yeah, there's
that's wild.
There's D-Rock. So.
Did you get to relive these the Majesty, those two shorts? I don't know if you got around to seeing them.
Yeah.
Put out two of them. It was neat seeing them, seeing things years later and seeing it through a shorts format, even though we lived it in real time. It's different experiencing, just select parts of it. It was neat.
That was such an amazing time with the show. Season 3 is kind of like, it's the middle ground, right? It was the first video. It looks like it was live, but it wasn't. It was all like, recorded and edited, and that was a lot of work. Season 3. It was the first time we tried that format, which I still love that format. It just wasn't possible to do with the live, where we broke the interview up into 4 parts, and we played it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday in 4 parts. I really enjoyed that format. But of course, I love the format of us just clicking go live and doing the fucking show. Like, nothing's better than that. But as far as like production wise, my favorite season is season 3. And I often think about this show and I'm like, man, is there magic like that left? Right? Have we, with the exception of Bone or like something way out of the world, like, I don't know if Unique's going to come on, Tamika will never come on. Like, is there like magic, like, oh my God, Mr. Majesty emailed us, like we found Mr. Majesty. Like, is there any of that left? And if it is it like, it's not even like name guys at this point. Like, the people that like would give me that wow thing are so not really relevant to the story. It's like D-Lo or whatever from Poetic Hustlers. You know what I'm saying? Like that is, Kermit Henderson. There's a good one. He declines every invitation to come on the show, but that would, I actually thought about that, John. I'm like, what if season 6 was we're bringing it back to Faces of Death, and I just got the remaining Faces of Death people, because that's how the show started. Was
Eugene. Is Eugene still around?
Yeah, man. I think Eugene's a church guy. So
I'm fine with that.
No, but what I'm saying is, I don't think Eugene has any interest on talking demonic Faces of Death, Bone Enterprise stuff on this podcast. You know what I mean? Like, so he just,
it might be fun. Yeah, I don't think he's.
Yeah.
Why are these skulls flipped backwards and these skulls are flipped frontwards? Anyway, what about like Shatasha? Like, is the story true? Was she outside trying to get Easy to come out and hear her sing, and she got brought back? Because you guys remember, she was at Versus, right, for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, she has quite a few interviews out there.
Yeah,
like, I suspect that's
her.
why she's not. We did. Okay.
Okay. They aren't Cecil West interviews, John.
The last time I wrote to her was October 31st of 2023, and she gave me a giant Facebook thumbs up.
Okay. That says everything. Thank you. I might have harassed you to do that.
Somebody told me that she, and I don't know if this is since Versus, because they brought her out for Versus, but I guess she kind of has a habitual, like, kind of goes off, about the situation. Okay. Like, so I think she'd be interesting. It's almost one of those situations that, we might be in the chat going, ooh, man, we should oh shit, we fucked up. Like, I've never had that interview where, like, we're in the background going, this is getting off the rails. I don't know what to do to rail this back in. But I feel like that could happen with her. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. There was a point where Felicia was supposed to come on. I don't know if we advertised that or not. But it was right around the time she did that interview with that guy. And the whole interview was just about Lazy Bone and him not being, a good husband and a good father. And I had no interest in that. And what I told her was, I was like, look, it's your story. I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't talk about. But I said, you just had such a big interview about this that I don't mind if we touch on it. But I would much rather talk about, like, your music, the legacy, the impact that you made on Bone fans, with the songs that you did. Like, that's just the more interesting interview for me, for you. And I don't know if that, like, just turned her off from the whole thing, but that was it. Like, this thing went dead when it wasn't like, yo, come on so we can talk about what a shitbag Lazy Bone is. And so that's why that interview never happened.
Felicia was one of my favorite Mo Thugs. Real quick, just to go back on that D-Rock thing, Lib21 says, a little behind the scenes, On the Biggie Bigger Than Life DVD by D-Rock, he mentioned he had a camera everywhere. Makes me wonder if he had his camera during the Notorious Thug session.
Okay,
Boom.
well, what's interesting about that is if you watch the video, okay, and when I'm talking about it, the bonus level of maybe the second video, I said everybody asked me who took it, and on the Invisible Bullies Instagram, the dude that said he took the picture is like a bodyguard for Bad Boy or something, and Invisible Bullies is D-Rock's, that's his clothing company. Invincible Bully? I think it's Invincible Bully. That's his clothing company. And the guy was commenting on the picture on the Invincible Bully Instagram of the Notorious Thug shit. So it's very well possible because they were all together. And if he always had a cameraman, you know, he might have grabbed D-Rock's camera and D-Rock just jumped in the picture. And still to this day, we got that one guy. And 50% of me is always like, that one guy is somebody. He's Junior Mafia, he's Bone, he's somebody. But then what fucks me up, because I'm like, yo, they're not just letting nobody in this. You know what I mean? Like, look at this picture. Everybody here is a rapper or a producer or somebody, right? So, you know, when people are like, this is probably some studio guy. I'm like, some random studio guy walked up next to Mr. Majesty and threw his fucking fist in the air with all the Mo Thugs and Bad Boy. Like, get the fuck out of here. You know, it doesn't work like that. But then there's that other picture that's almost the same, and you got the guy that looks like Redman who comes up out of nowhere, like between like Flesh and Bone's legs or some shit, and puts his fist in the air. And Mohart tells us, yeah, that's just V-Loke. That's just like a homie from around the way. And as soon as he told me, oh, that's just the homie, and he was in the picture, I'm like, oh, fuck. This guy in the background could be fucking anybody. This could be anybody. Oh, that guy in the background, oh, yeah, that's B-Money, man. You know? Fucking 96 in St. Clair. I'm like, I may never figure it the fuck out. So it plagues me is what I'm saying. I stay up at night thinking about the guy in the background. The one guy.
Well, and then swinging it back to Felicia and Shatasha, a cold-blooded pointed out that there's a lot of drama surrounding Shatasha because I think she had an impersonator that was trying to take credit, and like a video went viral of a fake Shatasha. I do recall like stand-ins at some of the shows periodically, even some of the televised ones, I think. So
when you say stand-ins, you mean like just like another singer singing her part, or like literally they were saying this is Shatasha Williams and it wasn't?
Oh, well, no, I don't know about that, but I recall seeing girls sing the hook that weren't her.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you got Felicia on tour with you, right? Like, why would you not have her sing it? Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's pretty standard. You're not gonna tour her everywhere to sing that one fucking song.
What I want to know with Felicia and the interviews that I seen her, she never explained like how did her career get derailed? Because I mean, she didn't get divorced till recently, right? How did, and you know, again with the wacky Bone decisions, I'd have had Felicia on every hook. I mean, it's like I said, it was the when you can't get Mariah Carey, you get Felicia. It's the same thing. Like I don't know why she didn't get overexposed, overused.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say this is why, but if you listen to every other Mo Thug that ever talked, they told you that, you know, they didn't want people bigger. So if they thought she really was Mariah Carey, maybe that's not the same if it's Lazy Bone's wife. You know, I don't know. I mean, I think it's safe to say that obviously they never knew how to get behind somebody the way, you know, to make them a megastar. Yeah. You know, the most they've been able to do is make people Bone famous, which is cool. It's funny, I compare Bone fans to the Juggalo fans a lot, but something that the Juggalo rappers that were signed to Insane Clown Posse that now are not have been able to do is they still have like a career, right? They still tour the Juggalo world. They probably don't make the money they made when they were with ICP, but like that's something that like the Bone rappers haven't been able to do. You know, maybe Soulja Boy was the closest one. There's the guys that are still doing it, you know, Kane and guys like that are still with Bone, but like the guys that now are not, like none of them really were able to keep it rolling with the Bone fans, which makes me ask the question, like, hey, if Soulja Boy would have kept it moving, and in 2005 was coming to your city, would you have gone to a Soulja Boy show? Just Soulja Boy, you know, ex-Mo Thug Soulja Boy live in fucking Iowa City fucking music hall, you know? Would you have gone?
During the peak of like Mo Thug 2, heck yeah, man. I'd have gone. Soulja Boy, like I wanted a Soulja Boy album so bad. And then those Tally Up things, they didn't really do it for me other than I'm a Dust Ya. That had like the Soulja Boy Mo Thug sound. Did we ask him like where the heck he went for like that blackout period? You know, after Mo Thug 2, they all just fell off yeah, it's been so long.
It's been so long that it's like a blackout to me, the Soulja Boy interview.
It's yeah. So there's so hey, I'll say this again. I did a video on Soulja Boy, The Soil, that album, and the one that he came out with immediately after that, Flowers. Those are solid.
Those are the albums that I think we expected him to have after he left Mo Thug. If he would have had those after he left Mo Thug, like these more recent works that he did, like, but those were, like you said, for the most part, after he left Mo Thug, those were not great.
Yeah, bro, no, The Soil and Flowers, they're fairly recent. I think around like 2019. Dog, if those would have dropped in like 2000 or 99, I would have played those albums so many times. Like by the time I got them, I was like, man, these are amazing. I don't have the time to listen to this. It's so good and I feel so bad. But yeah, Monopoly, I like the Monopoly track too. Like every Soulja Boy single that he dropped from those, I mean, besides The Soil and Flowers, he had like 2 or 3 other EPs. And like every Soulja Boy video I see from like The Soil forward, I like all of it. The Tally Up King Jamma thing, I tried to, but it didn't feel like it felt like it was somebody else. Whereas The Soil, Flowers, Monopoly, it felt like a newer version of Soulja Boy, but it was still Soulja Boy versus Tally Up King Jammer. That was, it felt a little different.
It felt, the new shit felt different, but it still was like Mo Thug level good Soulja Boy. Like it felt like, and I've said this about most of the Mo Thugs, and it's not even a knock at them. It's actually me crediting. I'm always like, hey, we don't give enough credit to the engineers and producers behind shit, and the proof of that is a lot of the times when even the Bone guys have done solo albums, for like little independent places that just don't have the engineers. You're like, ooh. Writing and rapping the song is only half of it. The other half is definitely these geniuses. And so I've always been like, yo, the Mo Thugs just couldn't do it after Mo Thug because they didn't have the relativity staff of people behind them. But those new albums by Soulja Boy, they really did. Like that felt like Mo Thug level Soulja Boy shit on both of those.
Yeah. I don't know how the industry didn't take on Soulja Boy either, because he hit at just the right time as well. See, if you think about the time period, you know, Mystical was getting real big. That guy, Miracle, I think the guy's name was Miracle. He had a song called Bounce.
Oh, yeah. I remember that shit.
Yeah. DMX was kind of hitting. And what I'm saying is like guys with like really aggressive voices, you know, powering voices with that kind of energy. And it was like, throughout that whole time, Fiend from No Limit, throughout that whole time, I was like, yo, Soulja Boy, come on, man. Your time is right now. This is the perfect time for you. Your style is totally hitting. And it just never came, man. It just, yeah.
He's under the belief that he was really blackballed during that time, which maybe it's true. You know, it's like, who are we to...
Well, back then there was gatekeepers. You know, back then you could, like now, Soulja Boy could release stuff because everybody can.
Yeah.
But back then you had to have the connect to do it. So.
Right. Back then, if you were being blocked by the label, and you were hot, like Soulja Boy was obviously hot.
Yeah.
If the internet and SoundCloud and all these things existed, we would have flocked to that as soon as Soulja Boy was gone when he dropped new shit. The closest we got was, I think he started to get buzz may not be the right word, but he started to fall back under like our microscopes during MySpace because MySpace made music accessible by the little guy again. You know, Soulja Boy could make his own profile, post his new songs. You were like, oh, fucking shit, you know? New Soulja Boy. Prior to that, it was like, it was hard to find the shit. Where'd you go to really find the shit? But yeah, if we would have had a SoundCloud when all these Mo Thug guys were dropped, like, who knows what could have happened for them. But again, it goes back to the debate of, did you really want a Graveyard Shift album that wasn't overseen in some capacity by Relativity? Because even though it's Romeo and it's Sin and it's all this, like, there's a touch of the machine that makes these albums good. Archie did most of the beats for Too True, right? Probably recorded them and everything, but when you look at like the engineers and stuff behind it, that's what I'm saying really makes these fucking songs. And I know this from recording myself. We'll record, you know, rough takes, and then you send them over to some genius engineer, and it comes back, and you're like, I don't even know what this is, bro. Did you know we were this good? I had no idea.
You could just look at the Bone collection, you know, the high power versus the ruthless, and all like these side Bone projects that aren't big label things. Although they've started to get some good people around, like good engineers around now. But there you go, Avedon doing New Waves. The level of production quality that was compared to everything else they did.
Yeah.
And even though like people still don't know, like they're sleeping on the New Waves. But I don't know if you noticed, did you notice that the Life changed their logo? And I know rebranding is one of the things that are dear to your heart.
Okay.
How do you feel about that green logo?
Oh, it's a brand new logo. The only thing I saw like the original TL, but they were like angled in a weird way on someone's shit. And I was like, what the fuck is this? It looks like the logo fell apart, but they got a brand new logo.
I think so. I'm
so
looking
they
it up
no
right
longer
now.
got the Mo Thug style TL.
Oh yeah, well the TL is there, but it looks like the Thug Life. You know when people, you know, the meme when the glasses come on and it says Thug Life. You know, somebody tells somebody, like, cracks a good joke.
I see what you're saying. It looks like Thug Mentality.
Oh, the background does. Yeah. Good point. Yeah, it's green. Like, okay, that makes it better. Now that you said Thug Mentality.
I don't think it's a full rebrand. It looks like they're pushing some Thug Mentality shit. I see them pushing Thug Mentality shorts. Damn, those are fire.
So then I wonder, is that like letting us know that Thug Mentality on streaming may finally happen?
I don't know. These shorts are fire, except like Crazy Bone is like, his face is right where your fucking dick's at. So
Yeah,
I'm just gonna keep it 100. But
I have the green sweats to say Bone Thugs across the crotch, and I never wear them because people always look where they're not supposed to be. You know.
Oh, Cecil, actually, okay, I see what you're looking at. You're looking at the Life Apparel. Go to the Life Apparel's YouTube channel and check out the logo there. That's the one I was thinking of.
Oh yeah, I'm on like their Facebook.
Yeah. No, even though the Life Apparel, the one that you're looking at if you were on the lifeapparel.com, that one's a drastic change as well.
Let's look.
They don't have consistent branding. They got a gazillion different logos.
I've seen that one before. Yeah, the Life Apparel. Now they must be doing a big TL Thug Mentality push, because I see a jacket.
This isn't on the website yet. The mechanic jacket on the Shopify store looks nice though. The black jacket with the white writing.
Yeah, it's got the little green. Yeah, they're pushing this little green tag. All right, let's see the fucking.
Looks like he's gearing up for something with the music videos and the little bit of rebranding. Maybe more to come soon. Because how long has it been since Chasing the Devil 2? It's been 1 year.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm still blown away when I found out that there was more time passed between Chasing the Devil 1 and 2 than between the announcement of Chasing the Devil and when Chasing the Devil actually dropped.
Yeah.
Isn't that bananas?
This is the same shit I just looked at. Yeah, the background. It looks like fucking Thug Mentality. It's got the Old English, the Life, and it's got the TL.
Okay.
Yeah, I think what they're pushing. I think they're pushing a hopefully they're pushing some Thug Mentality shit that's about to happen. Here, John, I'm gonna put it in the Zoom. I don't know if you saw. These
I think we're good. Nah.
these thug mentality
Yeah.
shorts.
I don't think I could pull that off, man. I already get enough attention as it is.
Listen, they look fire. I didn't think about the wearability of it being, you know. So what's going on in the chat? Lib21 said he just reread the Mo Thugs 2 source reviewed by Elliot Wilson, and they raved about Soulja Boy throughout it. Mighty Mo Thug was also introduced in the Fat Tape. What else?
Bro, Lib's got a solid rap collection, by the way.
Listen, he puts me onto everything that I'm buying because, like, I'll be like, oh, I love all these fucking, you know me, I love all the advertisements. And I'll just randomly get a picture like, yo, this one is from the fucking source, blah, 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 this and that. And these motherfuckers will rip these sources apart and sell them a page at a time on eBay for like $30. And I've paid $30 for different Bone Thugs and Harmony advertisements. One page from a magazine, $30. And a lot of times Lib will put me on to what magazine it is, and I buy the whole magazine for like $20. So,
but by the way, Byron Malk, he's got a good question. If you're still on the Life Apparel site, dude, there's a DJ Quick friggin' link on the site. Like he's like a member. There's position, headwear, so it's like apparel, headwear, music, accessories, kids, Kane, position, DJ Quick.
Yeah.
DJ Quick part of the Life?
No, I think that and there was someone else at one point that was on there as well. And I'll tell you what it is. I think that TL is big enough that they're able to almost be like merch distribution. So I think that probably they have some sort of DJ Quick distribution deal, although it doesn't look like any of his merch is up anymore. But I remember when there was a lot of DJ
Used
Quick.
to be.
Yeah. So they probably
That's
had
awesome.
some, distribution thing worked out.
And in Cold Blooded says, hey, since we're talking about Thug Mentality, I need that 3-disc special edition that he talked about on his live years ago. Yeah.
John,
Where's it at?
Look at this. Look at this. Under the accessories, on the Life Apparel, under the accessories, what I'm about to show you is going to blow your mind. There's a Master P basketball.
Limited edition. That's actually a pretty cool looking basketball.
I know. I'm thinking the same thing. It's got the No Limit tank on the other side of it. The box that comes in. I don't want to say I paid $60 for a basketball, but I might buy that. I got a thing that it would go in and everything. Son of a bitch.
That shade of green takes me back, man.
Yeah.
They got the green right, but the line cutting through his face is kind of...
I know, right? Like, just these little things is like, no thought goes into little things like that. You know who puts thought into shit like that? Cody Hillier. Cody Hillier would never let a line go through the fuck... That, you know what I mean? That would never happen on some of his art. Like, you can always tell when it's somebody that cares versus, just throw the album cover on a ball and call it good.
Oh yeah, and Zendaya did that. Who said that? Justin Mayo and somebody else pointed out that Zendaya had a some kind of deal with short-term thing with the Life at one point. That was like 10 plus years ago, but that's a pretty bizarre. It's amazing that happened. But on this Master P ball, man, like the whole No Limit era was such a strange part of time. Like I'm still a Bone fan, but the No Limit thing just came and went. It was around for a while though.
Justin Mayo in the building. Gem Mint Collectibles in the building. Gem has awesome YouTube as well. If you haven't checked it out, go check that out. We follow Gem because I collect all kinds of nonsense, and that channel is always fun for me. Are we gonna do a fucking? I see it's 8:30. We're out of here by 9:30. This is some short timer shit. You're not getting us for no season 3 grand finale right now. Are we gonna do a giveaway
An
tonight?
all-nighter.
We gonna spin the wheel tonight?
Let me see here.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what we have to give away. I mean, I'm sure we got a ton of shit. We got so much bone shit.
Yeah, I wonder if Kyle Ricketts okay because he received the record.
Only good things came from the record, you know?
Yeah. No, and I made sure to de-enchant it, because I don't know, but I haven't seen Kyle since I haven't even heard from him since he got it. Did I tell you about the experience? I think I did. That I got to discharge everything at the UPS store when I was shipping it off. I got charged like $70 to ship it, but I was happy to pay it.
record?
Yeah, yeah. But I expected to get hosed at the okay, so I guess I didn't tell you. All right. So when Kyle won it, I kept waiting for like a box from Amazon to come in that could fit the record because the record is just
Yeah.
irregularly shaped
Yeah.
or inside of the frame. And I kept ordering things and nothing was the box shape. So I was like, all right, there's got to be a reason. Because remember, everything has a reason. There's never like, usually I get these boxes that I don't want that would fit this record. I didn't get it. Maybe I'm missing something. So I thought, all right, I'm gonna go to UPS store and have them pack and ship it for me. And I know I'm gonna get hosed hardcore. They're gonna rate me here. But the reason why I'm gonna go and take the abuse is because I was sitting there thinking, like, all right, did I fully satisfy the contract? Was there a weekend that maybe I only worked half the day on creating shorts to get to the 100,000? Like, I wanted to make sure that I didn't leave the contract unfulfilled because I don't know if you've seen the movie The Substance. The universe will take what it wants if you don't fulfill your side of the deal. So I was like, all right, whatever debts that I have remaining, whatever part I didn't fulfill, I want it discharged through UPS on this transaction. And so I was thinking, I was like, all right, I checked it out on Pirate Ship. It should have cost $13 to ship. And I was thinking, all right, maybe they'll hose me for 26, like twice the price, maybe even $40. But no, it came out to like $76. But I was so thrilled to pay it because that let me know that there might have been 2 weekends or 3 weekends that I didn't fully dedicate to Beyond the Harmony that I forgot about. So I gladly paid that 76. Kyle, don't even feel bad. It gave me the opportunity to fully discharge the debt. Your record is safe in your possession, and everything is cleared. It was a beautiful thing. Everybody won.
Well, I'm glad Kyle got it. We'll what do we give away tonight? What do we got?
And just quick shout out to S. Perez, the Discord founder. Let me check this set of like used bone CDs. I don't think anybody wants these things, but it's when I've been doing these album reviews, it's come from this stack. So let me see if any of these I already reviewed.
No, that's cool though because it's a copy. It's the exact copy you reviewed. So it's at that point, it's a relic of Beyond the Harmony.
Yeah,
at that point.
You want John Lippy to sign that motherfucker?
By the way, that's the big selling point we didn't point out. For the extra couple rooms we got, if you ever wanted to meet Cecil West in person, here's your chance.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be there
Big
live in the flesh. I'm in the flesh.
So we're delayed, so I don't even know if these discs are showing up. But we got Eternal, which I don't need to review.
How do you have
this
another one of those left? You sent me like fucking 200 copies of that.
Yeah, no, dude, bro. All right, we've talked about this throughout the years on the channel. I give everything away. I am in nonstop giving away mode, and when you give things away, so much crap comes back to you.
Dog, we live so
Look at this
far
stack.
away, and nobody has given me as many physical items in my life as John has, and we live so far away from each other. Like if John lived next door, dude, I'd have to move away because he would give me so much stuff. It's crazy.
You're so lucky I discovered eBay, bro. So many of my friends got spared once eBay became before 2000 or whatever. Dude, the stuff my friends had to receive from me was, I feel like I need to send apology letters.
I think Byron's asked this twice, at least once. So I want to make sure we
Yeah.
talk about it. He says, do you guys plan on doing an album listening party again like you did with Too True? That is like, we love that idea. We've tossed around what that would be, right? I could get Mo Hart. It was really hard to get Tony Tone to do the interview, and I don't think we'll ever get him again. He's in a very like past this. And they did I actually gave them the idea to do hey, your 20th anniversary or whatever is coming up. And they attempted it, but it was no Beyond the Harmony. It was a fail. of a listening party. And I think when that happened, I think Tony Tone just said, hey, man, you know, Tony Tone don't roll on the dark side no more. I'm going back to God. And I think that was the end of that. So it's like, I could get Mo Hart to do it. I've played around with, we should get Sin to do the listening party for the Graveyard Shift album. But the problem becomes, the Too True one was good because those two were there to talk to each other. And I just had to like interject little nuances to keep them conversating. If you notice during the Too True thing, I didn't have to do a lot of work. In fact, have we told them before? Like I wrote no questions for Too True for the listening party. I wrote not one fucking thing. I told John and Matt, I said, look, once this starts going and they start talking, everything we need to ask will just happen. Trust me.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that happens if we do just like Sin. Cold-blooded, thanks for stopping in, bro. Yeah, get at us. Let's talk. Let's make sure you're in Florida. I don't know if that happens if you just have Sin. I've toyed around, you know, Sin and Romeo, but I get the impression, like from the Sin interviews, that like Sin wasn't like a Romeo guy. It sounds like maybe Tombstone was a Romeo guy, and you know, Sin, he doesn't even seem to have like an issue with him, but you know, I don't think Sin was on the producing side. So I think that Romeo and Tombstone did a lot of shit together. So I think, you know, if we had Tombstone and Romeo to talk, it'd be something. Or if we had Tombstone and Sin. But I don't know if Sin and Romeo is good. And if it's just Sin, then I don't know if we have a good thing there. So yeah, I don't know. I would love to do more of those. Like the shorter answer is yes, I would love to do it. I just don't know what one works.
If RC did the interview with Sin, that would have worked. But I hear you. That's not gonna happen.
No,
but,
it would be tough. It would.
Yeah, yeah. And Romeo and Sin, that might be a strange combo too. That would be a good one to. You know what? Hey, have you ran it past Sin? Like, what did he think?
You know, don't get me wrong. I could make it happen with just Sin and the three of us.
Yeah.
But again, the thing that made the Too True one so special was just the organic nature of you know, Jazz and Archie, to the point that, you know, Brina called like 3 fucking times, right?
Dude, bro, I tell you, that's one of my favorite moments of Beyond the Harmony, was getting those calls from Brina.
Yeah.
Like, I think like once a week I think about it. I hear her voice and I'm just like, yo, she called in the show, man. And her and Jazz clown me for like in Summertime, but I like Summertime. I'm good with it.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
But speaking of Summertime, I don't know. Did you remember I was saying since it's summertime, you might want to make a commercial or?
Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, we should have talked about this. So we're looking. We are looking to do a special episode, and I want to run this by y'all and make sure that we're gonna get the support to do an episode like this. I'm hoping for Sunday the 29th. Right, so the last Sunday of this month. I really want to do a special episode of Beyond the Harmony with Archie Blaine, and it won't be based around the music. You know, he's got Archdogs right now, and he's got a real restaurant that you can walk into and a food cart. And this is what the man's really doing with his life right now. And I'm so interested in that. And not only that, but I want the show to support Archie. And so, you know, I really thought we should do like, you know, Beyond the Dog or something, and get there with Archie and talk about his passion for food and how he got into the food business and started his business, and maybe we get a tour of it, because I want to help Archie out. And, you know, something that I say all the time is there's shit that you can do for free that goes a long way. Like, for instance, right now, you could hit that like button. It's absolutely free. It's at the bottom of your screen, and it costs you absolutely nothing, and you'll be done with it in 1 second, and it helps raise the algorithm and makes us get seen by more people. Very free type of thing to do, right? Another free thing that we can do that helps a lot is, if you look up Archdogs in Cleveland, let's leave Archie some 5-star reviews on his Google, man. It's free, and I want to help Archie out. And I think that if we did this episode and we had Archie come on live and we just talked about this other thing that he's doing, that it would help Archie out a lot. So I don't know if that's something that y'all would be interested in. I know it's not like music. It won't necessarily be Mo Thug. But who knows? You know, you don't know when you start talking about the story, like how he got into food. Did it happen on, I don't know. But if that's something that y'all would do and get behind, I would love to do that. But at minimum, if you guys could look up Arch Dogs in Cleveland and leave Archie a 5-star review, man, that would be awesome. But I would love to do that for Archie. I think that we should do that, and I think we should try to get behind Arch Dogs. And this is what he's doing now that he doesn't do music, and we all love Mo Thug and Too True and all that so much, that if that's all it takes for us to kind of show our gratitude to Big Arch, who has now come to our show twice and given us these classics to us, man.
Yeah. Yep. As far as the giveaway thing, I'm not seeing any CDs that are worth doing it like that. At some point in season 6,
You want to
that's
do
where
the
we're on, right?
pins.
At
Yeah.
6, the pins will be given away. Right now, it doesn't feel like the right time. This is gonna be given away on one of the
Well,
big
I
episodes.
thought you had some other. Didn't you get some shit from the Life? That
Oh yeah.
We got a
Oh
little.
yeah, you know
we got a
what?
little Life
Yeah.
package we could give away with like a license plate and some dumb shit.
You have a license plate. Yeah, let me pull that out.
I don't remember what this is. We got license plate covers.
No, when we ordered the pin sets, from the Bone
I
Thugs
don't
Road
remember
Group,
this.
They gave us all this extra stuff. A
Isn't
scarf, fucking
The Wishbone motorcycle. Remember what video did he peel out?
Yes,
on his bike?
it looks just like the license plates from the Resurrection
Yeah.
shit. It
Oh
looks like
yeah,
Life.
the resurrection video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a motorcycle plate, but I mean,
Yeah, but Crazy
what it
Bone,
said,
Crazy
right?
Bone had it like on his car or whatever, right? Like they all had a license plate, I think, on a vehicle in that video, right? Am I tripping? No, they all
Yeah,
they
no,
all,
no, this
they
is-
all had
yeah,
a
this-
license plate.
This is it. Yeah, I definitely recall seeing this, and like the camera zooms in on it as it's driving away. So yeah,
So this is a good story. So back up. We ordered pins and we got more extra than what we actually ordered.
Yeah,
we got more than thugs, man. It came with the license plate. I'm not giving this away because I'm using this right now. I'll give this away at the end of the season, but while I'm still doing all these reviews,
the bandana, yep.
yeah. So this
man.
one I've been using as like I learned
Love
from
that.
Cecil from the early days of Thug Bay and all those early videos that Cecil used to do for the giveaways. This is like my little backdrop
Yeah.
that I've been using for the when I do the CD reviews. So it gave us that. It came with this. What do you? I called this something
scarf.
stupid.
It's a scarf, man.
Okay.
A bandana and a scarf, man. What planet are you from?
Yeah. No. I mean, hey. And we got some stickers here too. It's cool that they did this. These are like the little tiny touches that.
Yeah, I was
are nice.
impressed because Bone, I don't, this, it doesn't usually strike me as Bone giving away a bunch of free shit. And let me tell you, I was semi-jealous because, I ordered this for my own personal collection. And when I got it, I didn't initially see any of that shit. And I was like, dog, what the fuck made John so special that they sent him the entire bonus merch package? But then I had all that shit as well.
Yep. Oh, you got the pins too?
I got, yeah. Oh, yeah. I bought
Nice.
that for my own personal.
Heck
I almost traded you because but I'm going to wait. When you got just the box left, I'm going to have you send me the box because my box got, it's just got a little imperfection in it. And I was like, son of a bitch.
Okay, well then that sounds like we're giving away the pins one at a time.
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay, well if that's the case.
I don't think we give the whole box to one person. I think that we give away these pins, a little at a time, especially because the individual pins were the color ones. Remember you saw the color ones? You were like, oh, I think I almost like these more. That's the only way you got the individual ones. These gold ones you could only get as a set. So, this would give somebody the opportunity to get the gold one.
So this is so what that also means is everybody that wins these, this becomes Thanos's the Thanos gems for what was Thanos's glove, the gauntlet, the
Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah.
Infinity Gauntlet. So all the gems are together right now, which they shouldn't be. I don't know if you ever read the comic Illuminati trilogy, Marvel. It's when Doctor Strange gets his hand on the Infinity Gauntlet, and all the gems got put back together, and he actually puts on the glove, and then Uatu shows up, and he's like, "What are you doing, Doctor Strange? We had a rule." So all right, we could do these. We could either do a pin, we could do the license plate, or these little stickers that came in there that I showed earlier. I'm gonna hold on to that scarf for a little while longer. I like looking at it. And also let me just since whoever's tuned in right now, the 27, um, these CDs will be the ones that are gonna have album reviews. So Eternal's an 18-week album review. At some point, Bone Brothers 1 will get a review. Fleshbone THUGS. And again, this is why you guys tune into the lives to get this is Busy Bone the Gift. 2 copies of Mo Thug 2, the Lazy Bone. It's not a game. By the way, I'll say this in the video too when I make it. Thug, if you go on Amazon, I think the #1 comment or review for Lazy Bone, it's not a game. The headline is, "It's not that good either."
Oh no.
Ouch.
Oh.
But I don't agree. Like I actually preferred this more than El Burner when it came out.
What?
Yeah.
No
Well,
way.
because it's like
I don't know
like
if I've ever even heard it, but El Burner.
There's some really good songs on it.
yeah,
But
it's
it's not
it's
a
not.
game.
it's
front
not
to
well,
back.
it feels like a cheat. Like it's like a great, almost like Lazy's greatest hits or Lazy's hot hits of the moment. You know, it didn't feel like it was an album that he made strictly for this. It felt like it was like a compilation. That would be a better way to say it, like a Lazy Bone compilation album is what it felt like. Because he re-released some tracks that were on previous releases
I
on
felt
here.
like El Burner was good at the time, even if you weren't a Bone fan, you could be okay with El Burner. But it's not a game. Seems like it was something for strictly a Bone fan.
Well, let me say this: like when El Burner came out, okay, this was my original thought was when It's Not a Game dropped. I thought, damn, if Lazy would have dropped It's Not a Game as the first album and El Burner as the second album, I thought that would have been a better like sequence, because that first one, everybody's going to pick up that first one, and I just thought It's a Game would have been a better one out the gate. But I'm sure everybody else probably disagrees. Everybody else might think El Burner's way better, but I know I had more fun listening to It's Not a Game at the time period.
I think
Things might change now.
I think I've said this before, but I remember at the time being really disappointed with the Thug by Nature El Burner album.
Yeah.
Like now I'm really fine with it. You know what I mean? Now I'm like, yeah, I love this album, but like I remember at the time the El Burner, it's not the El Burner Thug by Nature. That might have been the first time that I questioned some Bone shit. Like it was still good, so it wasn't like full on like what the fuck is going on here. But like that might have been the first time that I was like, man, that didn't hit. And what's crazy is the intro, is still the intro they use right now. Boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom. So when the intro dropped, and mind you, at this time I'm the biggest Lazy Bone fan, that I possibly can be. And
Lazy Thug.
And then that I put the fucking, I remember going into it already hesitant, right? Because he's called El Burner, and I was like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this?
That's what made me mad at the album. Not at Lazy or the music, but I was like, dog, for branding, for name recognition, people have no idea who the heck El Burner is. You can't invent the market. Ruthless put all this money building the Bone name and the Lazy Bone, Crazy Bone. Every interview, hey guys, what's your name? I'm Lazy Bone. I'm Crazy Bone. I'm Wishbone. It's almost like a joke, right? It's the Seven Dwarfs. But now, so you've branded that for 7 years or whatever it was, and now you changed your name, your logo, and half the people don't even know that it's like, is El Burner Lazy Bone?
That's what I was gonna say. We got away from the old English aesthetic, which I guess Heaven's Movie did too, but at least it was Busy Bone, so it's not like
He goes back to the old English, by the way, on It's Not a Game.
yeah, he better. You got to do something to,
Yeah. So I cut your flow off though. You were going into your memories of getting L Burner.
Yeah, well, but
Thug
but
by
anyway,
Nature.
like it not be having the old English. And you know what killed me with the Alberna part was he still had to put AKA Lazy Bone under it.
Right.
You know, and I would have been okay with the Alberna thing if there was an explanation like, oh, yo, for Lazy to get like all his money, yo, he dropped it as Alberna and not Lazy Bone, and it was some cheat code that got him all his money. But it came out by Ruthless. It's not like it's actually like he's the one out of the ones that went solo first, right? Crazy, Lazy, and Busy. He's the only one that like willingly did that shit through Ruthless, and they didn't just get a stamp on it. Like, you know, like Thug Mentality and Heaven's Movie were like Relativity, Mo Thug projects. And I think the Ruthless stamp is on it, but, you know, they always talk about how, like, they were not, Ruthless wasn't involved at all. Tamika basically just got her bone money from it. Whereas El Burna, he did that fucking thing through Tamika. You know, he was trying to show loyalty to the brand. So I was like, why the fuck did we call this El Burna? But that aside, you know, the boom, 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 that shit fucking happens. And I'm like, we are about to hear a masterpiece. We are about to hear a fucking masterpiece. And then it was just okay. Jem said, listen as the rain, smoke on the fire. Yeah, all good.
Should have been earlier in the album.
Yeah, they could.
You know
They
what I'm
do
saying?
come
Because by the
late.
time those came around, you're like, what the? Like your heart, you're like, ah.
He said,
And
"Make
then-
My Day" single was not it. Here's the thing about "Make My Day," the video wasn't it. You know,
Yeah.
Lazy says now that it was supposed to be like the college marching band, you know, like black
Yeah.
college marching band drumline type of shit. And I don't know if that would have made it better or
It
not.
would have because the Trick Daddy video came out at the time.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Like that was hot, and it was like a perfect. You know, it was riding that wave.
Yeah, I don't. What they say the explanation? There was some reason Tamika really wanted it to be this snowmobile thing.
It probably had to do. I mean, yeah, I remembered hearing the reason, but I suspect it might have been brand like co-branding or cross marketing, not only for snowmobiles but also for snow vacations, snow sports. It's on at the time of extreme sports was happening. You know, so there's
Yeah.
like attitudes and behaviors that they try to engineer into people through video.
Li-
I don't know that
It
for
got
sure, but that's
lost
what I think.
bad though.
Yeah, the
whatever it
video
was.
and Listen wasn't a good video either. Listen was a
thought it was
really come on, man.
When I did the short for it, I was like, man, this is better than I remembered. I mean, there was some cheesiness to it.
That's
but
what I'm saying. Like it just wasn't like, you know, you were like, yo, we went from the Crossroads to this, you know, this digital spider that's fucking, you know, and I love Thug by Nature. I don't want you to think it wasn't on rotation. Thug by Nature, I played the shit out of, but it wasn't like if you're gonna sit here and say, oh, Thug by Nature, that's just as good as Thug Mentality. Thug by Nature, that's just good as Eternal. That's as good
I
as
thought
The
it
Art
was
of War.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna get a full album of Mind of a Soldier,
Right.
and I didn't even get Mind of a Soldier.
Right. That's all it is it was the it was like it was just like the first time we'd kind of veered off the road that we were used to with Bone is all. You know. It wasn't necessarily bad. I think at the time I thought it was bad because it wasn't the Bone shit that I was used to, but it was just a variation. Like you know, it was just a variation. Are you guys gonna do a Thug Mentality 1999, but only one disc like you did with the Art of War?
Didn't we do that?
Did we do?
I know I
Thug
wrote
Mentality?
something for
I thought we
it.
did the Art of War.
Well, I know I prepped for Thug Mentality. I thought we did it. I know I prepared for it. I swear we did it, man. Maybe.
Joe Cal, I feel the same way. I can appreciate it much, much more now than I did probably as a kid.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I say that about, you know, the world's enemy all the time now too.
And if anything, look, I was giving props to It's Not a Game. I've never seen or heard anybody talk about It's Not a Game. That's how we got onto the. So, like, you know, whatever I said about El Burner, I was just saying when this came out, I was like, yo, this should have been the first one. El Burner should have been the second one. Meaning the Lazy Bone as a solo artist would have been branded with the name. And I thought the track listing on this was, I mean, he's got like crazy guests on here. Aaron Hall, Twister, Felicia, Crazy Bone, Thin C, Stu D's, Dre Ghost, bunch of people. The Outlaws on this thing.
So somebody
Snoop
pointed
Dogg.
out that El Berna was never used. Yeah, Jem pointed out El Berna nickname was never used prior to this, and I think
Great
that's
point.
what that because now I love
Should've been
calling
number
him.
one assassin.
I love calling him El Berna now. I'm like, oh, Berna. Like now it's cool, but yeah, right. We were all used to the number one assassin.
Yeah, I was like, dog, if you want to change your name, make it number one assassin. What was because you branded number one assassin all throughout Eternal.
But now he's been El Berna for so long that I'm good with
Yeah.
it. Like
Yeah, I'm just giving you the thoughts of 99,
Yeah.
2000 or whatever, 2001. But yeah.
Jem said, I was low-key disappointed with Thug Mentality 1999. Well, you are by yourself on that one from the three of us. I mean, I think, Matt, you're a TM fan, right?
Oh man, I listened to it more than
Yeah.
It as being a maniacal Crazy Bone fan at the time, there was a tinge of it didn't live up to what a double CD of Crazy Bone should have been. I played the heck out of it, and I still play it to this day. But I think I don't know what I wanted, but it didn't. Murder Mo hit, where that was like the peak moment. Armageddon was a peak moment. Silent Warrior was a peak moment. There's so many excellent.
As a kid, all the little interludes and shit, and it, like the way it
was like a movie.
it weaved together, like it felt like I don't know. It really well, it couldn't be, right? It couldn't be near Art of War because you only had one of the 5 fucking guys that were all over the Art of War.
It wasn't supposed to be.
So of course it couldn't be. What's funny is, I was knocking El Berna for, it was the first time we'd kind of had a variation in the style, but Crazy gets kind of far away from the style, the bone shit we were used to on a bunch of Thug Mentality songs as well.
Well, that's where that Leatherface. See, that's why the Leatherface tracks on there, on Thug Mentality 99, the Leatherface style is what I call it. That's where I was like, that's why it wasn't a perfect 5 mic thing. Over time, I'm okay with those tracks, and even then I was okay with them. But like the Leatherface style creeping in more and more often, I was like, I just wish this was on like some other project, not the Thug Mentality. But it's okay.
Yeah, Jem, I attribute a lot of that to the fact that, because I always feel like, even though it wasn't, I always feel that like Art of War, I'm like, man, it feels like all these beats were made in the same like month. They all feel so similar, like not in a bad way either. It's like, it feels like they were created to flow the way they do. And, that was all unique shit. Or I think it was mostly unique. I think it was all unique. What's interesting is a lot of the Art of War songs were originally Thug Mentality songs that he was working on. I don't even know if it was Thug Mentality yet, but yeah. What Network just said, yes, like these were Crazy Bone solo songs. Like Look Into My Eyes is a Crazy Bone solo song, and they pulled it and they turned it into a Bone song. Which is amazing, right? Isn't it funny that we get to hear Busy Bone complain about this fucking Thug Love thing for 30 years, but no one ever gets to talk about how Crazy Bone basically gave up the entire album that he'd made and turned it into a Bone album. There was tons of, that's why we had all those Crazy Bone interludes on there. Those were just, Crazy Bone songs they didn't add the rest of Bone to. Would like Neighborhood Slang, would that have been good if they would have added the rest of Bone to it, or do you think it's like perfect the way it is and we would have fucked it up adding like Wish to it?
Don't ask that question.
It's a good question.
I'll take a Busy verse on there just to see what he did with it.
Ooh,
I'd even
good.
And I think Lazy Flesh and Wish. Yeah, actually, I think that was a song that Wish might have really shined on, believe it or not. You'd have to hear it. I mean, but I think that was.
I thought I knew you guys.
But there's certain things that I think go good for Wish, and that might have been one of them. But
Just Mayo said too many features on Thug Mentality 99. What's funny is I can definitely see that. I think that it was done on purpose. You know, so Crazy could almost be like, look at all the friends I got, you know?
Yeah.
Like I know that
He's like
sounds,
Tupac.
you know, but I think that was really like I think that was
It
a
was a
moment.
flex.
Yeah, that was a moment for him to be like, yo, I'm in here.
Well, I mean,
But
dude,
that,
all
that was
eyes on
super
me.
calculated. He had 8 Ball and MJG. I mean,
Yeah.
like
But I agree
it-
though. I do remember listening to it and just being like, I just want to listen to Bone.
Oh, but it was Ready for War, the war is on with Snoop
the
and
Terror
Corrupt.
Squad one.
No,
Oh
the
yeah,
one,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
Corrupt and Snoop, Crazy
The Dog Pound
Dads,
one, yeah.
Blazing Up some, and actually that verse by Lazy on that track with Corrupt and Snoop, like Lazy stole the show. Like you're going into it thinking like, oh shit, I'm gonna hear Snoop and Corrupt, Dog Pound, and then Lazy comes in and says, what? He just tore the roof off that shit. In fact, like that was the most amazed I was with Lazy at that point. Like I thought like Lay really like
Oh, that's a good
went up to
idea.
like level 10, level 11.
Joe Cal
that.
says, I think they all should have done separate piano interludes. That could have been cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
that would have been perfect on a double album.
they there's not exactly that, but on the there's a Lil Wayne album where he has all these guests and they all rap over the same beat, but they're all interludes, right? So they don't all play back to back. So Tech Nine has one, Andre 3000 has one, but they're scattered all throughout the whole album. And or maybe it's multiple albums, I don't know. But it's all the same fucking beat. So eventually somebody put them all together.
Dog, that just, I haven't had this thought. Okay. It's not bone related, but it's related to what you just said with Lil Wayne. I don't know if you're old enough to remember Flex by Mad Cobra, the reggae song.
No. I actually, now that you say that, maybe. Like as soon as I said no, I was
Flex.
like, wait a minute.
I do have sick. Matt, do you remember that one by any chance?
Oh, yeah, because I had the Reggae Jams Volume 1, 28.99, bought it from Camelot Music, and yeah, I remember.
And was it so the whole album? I mean, I had the Mad Cobra album, which it wasn't that good, but but that instrumental that was used for that, apparently, I guess in Jamaica or wherever, there was a gazillion artists that had made songs with that. Mad Cobra just happened to get famous in the United States with it, so they released this whole like 16 track album where it was 16 different artists doing their own song to that same instrumental, which at the time, like that instrumental was the thing. You hear it now and you're like, ah, whatever. But like everybody wanted to hear that instrumental back then. And when they dropped a whole album of 16 different artists doing the same thing on the same track, it kind of, maybe that's what destroyed the beat. It just got worn out after that. But prior to that, you couldn't get enough of it. But then after a whole album, you're like, ah. But all right.
I just want to update people on if you're in the Discord, again, the Discord link is pinned in the top of the chat. If you're not part of the Discord, you should definitely join it. It all goes down on the Discord. If you love Beyond the Harmony, during the season, all the after parties happen there, and everybody's in the chat. And this is where we talk about the show and non-show stuff, and people trade and collect there. And I mean, everything you can think of is going down on the Beyond the Harmony Discord. So make sure you join it. But
one of the things I hope happens there over time is that there is a voice chat. So if you guys aren't familiar, Discord has a voice chat, and it's a completely open party line where everybody could get in there and talk. So it's not like Cecil's going to gatekeep you and keep you from the show. You get in there, bro. Anybody could talk. And I think, I mean, I know everybody's in different time zones and stuff, but you all should. It seems like anytime a voice chat gets started, really good conversations happen. And a lot of great topics get covered.
that's where the after party goes down. That's what I meant by the after party. Everybody joins that voice chat.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that I think it's like the Beyond the Harmony people should find a date and time to make it, maybe once a month or maybe once a week where you all just get in there and chat it up. Because anytime they do get started, they turn into great combos. I lose like half my day. The first time we started that thing, I lost like a whole day talking with Cold Blooded, and I don't know if S Perez was in there, and I think HSS was in there. So like the combos get really good. The reason why I don't hop in them all the time is because I don't want to lose half my day, because I will. But it's a great feature that we have in the Discord. I think you guys should use it. Schedule it without us. It's very enriching.
Oh, they're great. You know, the Discord is great. We used the Discord recently because we thought we'd gain the opportunity to interview Flesh and Bone. And basically, he said $1,500, I'll come on. I said, look, you know, $1,000, and it seemed like it was gonna work out through a mutual friend of the show and a mutual friend of, not even a friend. He works for Flesh. So, and then the terms came up, and I don't know if it was the fact that I said 2 hours, you know, that we need 2 hours in kind of a quiet place. Because this is the thing, right? If a member of Bone wants to come on, these motherfuckers can come on in a loud green room before a show if they're coming for free. But if we're going to pay, then I got certain things that I just need out of it. Like, it's got to be worth the money, especially because it became fan funded, and y'all fan funded the $1,000 in like record time. So I don't know if I scared him away when I said, yo, I need 2 hours, right? In my mind, I'm like, you get to sit in your house and make $500 an hour. I was like, yo, this is great money. But maybe, you know, with everything that Bones got going on, it was like, dude, time equals money, and $1,000 to give y'all 2 hours just doesn't fit right now, which they're doing a lot of shit. You know, Netflix, Conor McGregor, all this shit. But because of that, we're kind of at a standstill because I don't want to pay $1,000, especially knowing it's y'all's money, and do a 20-minute interview that isn't Beyond the Harmony. That it just doesn't make sense. You know, if you're coming on Beyond the Harmony, it's got to at least semi feel like a Beyond the Harmony interview. You know, I don't expect it to be some Romeo shit, but like, it's got to make sense for our platform. So we're kind of at a standstill. I did also shift and make an offer to somebody else as well. I just want to let everybody know that money's kind of sitting in a fund, and if we don't get a definitive answer soon, we'll start the refund process to everybody that, you know, did the money. I just didn't want to do that too early in case it does come together, or in case this other offer comes together. But that's all sitting in a Beyond the Harmony fund. And if it doesn't come together, you know, just like I told y'all, we'll refund. You know, that's nothing at all. And we appreciate how quickly the Discord put it together. He said, hey, you know, can we fan fund this? If everybody did a little something, we can easily get this. And y'all did it so quickly that it was incredible, and I very much appreciate it. And if it doesn't come together, I just want everybody to know we're going to fully refund everybody. And hopefully if the opportunity comes again, you know, we can, and we do end up refunding y'all, and then the opportunity comes, we can re-fan fund it very quickly. But I just wanted to update you guys. We have a fucking Discord full of phenomenal questions. So if for some reason it comes together, the Discord has phenomenal questions. And I really hope we get to do it. But I just wanted to update you guys where we're at with that piece. And hopefully it happens. But I just wanted to give you all an update because it happened. And I know there hasn't been anything there. So the ball is really in his court. You know, the money is there. The offer is there. The fun crazy was for a Flesh and Bone interview. Basically, we had offered $1,000 to come on and do the show. And the fans helped fund it, like in a crazy amount of time, couple hours, and the money was there. So I was blown away. You know, I was really impressed and thankful. But now it kind of seems to be at a standstill, like I said, because I think maybe it was the format. But I was like, listen, if we don't say it's at least 2 hours, an hour just isn't enough time. It's y'all are not gonna feel like you got your money's worth. And even if you didn't put money in, you're not going to feel like you got to be on the Harmony interview. So Cody Hillier in the building, Cody's Horror Collections. If you haven't checked out his YouTube, check him out as well. Jem said he just joined the Discord. Been listening to Crazy Nate Dogg track. Yeah, so anyway, so that's what's going on with that. So hopefully something happens there anyway. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. And hey, we're just trying to be transparent. We fully appreciate everybody pouring it out. We want it to happen just as much as you guys want it to happen. And so
if he said $1,500 for 2 hours, would you spend it? I don't think so. I'm gonna be real with you. It was hard for me to say the 1,000, even though it wasn't even my money. I've always
We don't know if he'd commit. Like it may not even be a money thing. It might be a time thing. Or
Yeah,
maybe not. I don't know.
I think that I think for me, right, it's like I think for me that it's not organic enough once we get to like, we're negotiating back. And don't get me wrong, like we've made this channel what it is off of their back. So if anybody deserves for us, you guys have super chatted and this and if anybody deserves for us to turn around and pay them for an interview, it's a member of Bone, right? So it's like, so I'm good with that. Everything that we have is because of them. So I'm good with us kicking up to the bosses, But there's a point where I feel like, okay, I got no problem kicking up $1,000. It's $1,000. You get to sit in your house and talk on the largest Bone Thugs and Harmony podcast in the fucking world about how awesome you are, and we're gonna pay you $500 an hour to do it. There's a point where I'm just like, yo, even though I owe y'all $1,500 to come on this thing that we dedicated hundreds of hours of our time to, like I just can't feel right about that. So I don't know. I don't know if I could do that or not. Because also I had really got comfortable with the idea that Bone will never come on, and we've built our own thing over here. As weird as it is to have this Bone Thugs and Harmony podcast that Bone never comes on, and we're okay with it because we built it talking to other people. There is a point during season 5 where I had fully committed to, it's never happening and I'm good with it. And all of a sudden, this little window of time between them happens, and it looks like once again we might get a Bone member, and I'm like, yo, here it is. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, bro. You'd have to ask Bone why they don't come on. I've heard lots of different reasons. I've heard lots of. Josh said, what grinds my gears is Bone will do an interview with channels with hardly any subs. We got 100,000 and they don't take it serious. You would think they'd get tired of answering the same questions. You would think that, but I think that for them, it's comfortable to know that you're going to go on here and just talk about the bus ticket and meeting Eazy-E and the Crossroads, and you don't have to. You're not sweating that Cecil West is going to be like, so Crazy Bone, tell me about this Ouija board that K Chill saw you playing with in the graveyard, motherfucker. Like, I would never ask that question, right? But I think that that's what they think that I'm going to ask them, because I'm sure that they've heard the show or heard questions that we've asked or whatever. I actually thought the one we were going to be the closest to getting was Lazy Bone, because Lazy Bone shouted us out at the beginning of season 5, and so I don't know. And to be honest with you, Lazy Bone is the one that I want the most, but y'all know that that's just my favorite guy since I was a kid, so that's probably why I would be more than happy to talk with any of them. But yeah, I like how the channel was everything surrounding Bone. We've seen thousands of Bone interviews. Yeah, exactly. And that's how we felt as well. But I will say this, and this isn't to make y'all want it more, but you have ever heard a Bone Thugs and Harmony interview with Beyond the Harmony with Cecil West at the fucking wheel. Because I promise you, if it was me, it would be like nothing you'd ever fucking heard before. But I will say Court Dog got about as close as I think that you can get to. Court Dog asked some questions that I didn't think somebody would ever ask.
Yeah, Court's good.
But that's the homie, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I said that about Drink Champs. The reason that makes Drink Champs so successful, people say it's the liquor, but it's really that, Noriega is so cool with so many people that it's like this. It's like talking to your friends when you go on these shows, Court, and when you go on Holding Court, or you go on Drinking Champs. They're going on there talking shit with their friends. When you come on here, I'm the media. They don't know me. They just know I'm the guy that interviewed fucking K Chill. And K Chill said Fishbone existed. They're like, fuck this guy.
And you interviewed Julio. He said, yeah, the lore was created by us. Santa Claus isn't real.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I'd love to have it happen. If it doesn't, I just want everybody to know, we got y'all. We would never. We got a whole list. It's posted in the Discord of who donated money, and we'll get y'all right back. But I just want to update you guys on the Flesh and Bone situation, and who knows, hopefully something happens in season 6 and it comes around. If and when season 6 happens, which I will say, you know, we decided to start holding meetings more, and this is the beginning of what makes the seasons come together, is John, Matt, and myself having meetings, and you know, us just doing these off season things. Hopefully season 6 happens. If it does, the lineup, or the potential lineup I should say, is still stellar, even without a member of Bone. You know, the lineup and the potential lineup is fucking amazing, including, I'll tell you, Boogie Nike wants to come on. I have contact with Boogie. Thug Queen asked about coming back on for a full interview again. So, you know, it's there. I just gotta put my big boy pittance on and really buckle down. And y'all don't understand, man. Beyond the Harmony really takes it out of the three of us. It's like a energy sucking thing. So, you know.
Hey, Enoch said he could offer Lazy 1K for 2 hours.
Hey, man, tell him. You know, we've been trying to reach out. The problem with Lazy Bone, and I don't hide this either, is Lazy Bone has Beyond the Harmony blocked on Instagram, on everything. And I really don't think it's Lazy Bone. I think it's his management. Because Lazy Bone shouted us out during the Thin C interview. He shouted us out in a video drop that Crazy Life got us. So I think Lazy's cool, but somebody on his management team has us blocked. But I would give Lazy Bone $1,000 to do 2 hours like a motherfucker. No problem. I'd give any of them $1,000 to do 2 hours. And it may not even be 2 hours. This is the crazy thing, right? I just need to know that they're down to at least do 2 hours. Because even in 2 hours, I don't think I'm getting everything I want, right? There's no fucking way in 2 hours I'm getting everything from Flesh and Bone I want. But I could get enough that I would feel satisfied with the interview. I'm always going to want more, but 2 hours would satisfy me, right? For all I know, an hour and a half might satisfy me. But I just can't go into it knowing that he could walk away in 30 minutes going, all right, guys, I got to go. You know, and all I got to ask was, you know, 30 minutes. We're not even out of the Faces of Death era, and he's not even on the fucking album, okay? So.
Yeah. Nice. Well, hey, maybe we hold on to this 1K. If it's Lazy, if it's Flesh, I'm sure Beyond the Harmony people that contributed would be happy with either. If anybody isn't, let us know. But that's the way I always saw it. I was like, well, if we don't get Flesh, maybe we get Lazy. You know, one of the two. And if not, that's cool too.
Yeah. So someone asked about Aw Shit. I thought, didn't the three of us talk about that already?
Yeah, we talked about that last time. But there's been a lot of stuff with Ghetto Cowboy too. You know, Crazy released a photograph and a video, and it's a pretty cool set that they have. It looks like it's the Old West. It almost looks like Back to the Future 3. And they're riding horses, so I don't know if Romeo, it'd be amazing if Romeo has a hand in this thing. I hope he does. I hope Romeo put it together, or at least we hear that. I hope Romeo tells us that he made it happen. Even if he did.
That's my fantasy. Yeah, Romeo takes all the credit.
Yeah.
What my real fantasy is for Get Out Cowboy 2 is, do you remember in the golden age, a music video would be 6 minutes long because the first minute was just a skit for a minute and a half, and before the beat even dropped, right? And so, like, what if there's like a whole little mini short film before the video, even with like talking and stuff, right? Like, man,
Yeah, I would
I'm
love
excited.
that. I would love that, and I think it's going to be exciting to see Thug Queen again. It seems like Rocky Rock has a big piece in it. Was it Position? There was two other people that were photographed when the announcement first happened, like 1 or 2 years ago.
Position was in that old stuff, yeah, but I haven't looked at the new stuff.
Yeah, it'll be neat to see if they tie some stuff together. And you know, somewhere I had a photograph that Crazy had written like a script for a Ghetto Cowboy movie. So that was a real thing at one point. And I think what Romeo said was that at the time they didn't know how to ride horses, or he didn't think they did. But it looks like maybe Crazy heard that and was like, all right, well, if that's what it takes, let's learn how to ride horses. And the video Crazy put out, they're riding horses around. So that's pretty cool. In addition to that, I don't know if you guys seen Crucial Conflict came out with a video this year, and they got horses, they got all kinds of stuff in the video, pyro, fire, and I really enjoyed the Crucial Conflict new music video. And,
Have to check it out. They're capitalizing on the country rap stuff, right?
Yeah, and yeah, they're capitalizing on the country rap, and they did what you said. There's two versions, so when you look it up on YouTube, make sure you get the 6-minute version, just like you said. The 6-minute version does have a skit, like a skit, a skit at the beginning, and then the song kicks in. After you get over that the first time, it's good to just get right into the song. The Crucial Conflict hasn't missed a step. In fact, in ways, I think they're actually better now. So
Nice.
In less than 10 minutes, we're going to go ahead and we're going to spin the motherfucking wheel and wrap up the night. If you want to be part of this wheel spin, it's real easy. You just got to be a member of the Skull and Crossroads Society. You can join the apprentice level right on your screen. You should see a join button, and you can join us there. And it's really cheap if you do it through YouTube. It's like $3. Or if you want to go bigger, head over to our Patreon. On Patreon, you can look up Beyond the Harmony, or you can go to beyondtheharmony.com, and over there under Skull and Crossroads Society, you can click apprentice level or levels 1 through 99 if you want to donate more money. Anything will get you there. If you're a member of both the apprentice and the Patreon, you get double entries into the wheel spin. Tonight, we're going to be spinning out. What are we doing tonight, John? We doing the license plate? What are we doing?
I think we're gonna do the license plate. But I just
It's a good
want
choice.
I want to throw a request out there. If anybody in our network knows Soren Baker from Unique Axis Entertainment, I'd love for us, for Beyond the Harmony, to have him on to do the great debate of either a Bone album or two Bone albums compared and contrasted. If you guys don't know Soren Baker, he did an article on Flesh and Bone 30 years ago called Dark Harmony. He worked for the Source magazine. He does Beyond the Harmony type stuff for LA and West Coast rap.
New member right there. New Skull and
nice.
Crossroads. There we go.
Arkanoa. And so anyway, I think it'd be amazing to have Soren Baker on Beyond the Harmony to do with the great debates. If anybody knows him, reach out. Lippy's a huge fan. If you guys don't know about Soren Baker, in our off seasons, when we're not dropping our lives, check him out, man. To me, he's one of the best, like, hip hop, 90s hip hop type reviewers.
Oh, another new member.
Look at that.
Let's go.
Enox Network, yeah. So anyway, back to the spin the wheel after I gave my Soren Baker thing. This Thugline license plate can be, that's why they're joining, because to do the spin the wheel, you got to be a member.
Yeah.
Boom.
Nice pitch. I like it. He circled back around.
Indeedy.
He came back around to it. It's good. We're going to spin that in a couple minutes. We already got 2 more people that are going to be in on it. We just going to do one tonight? We just going to do that? Do I got any shit? I got a Bone Thugs and Harmony versus jacket that I'm going to give away. It's just not time yet.
I mean, we could start the pins. I don't
Start
know
the
if, like,
pins?
Are the pins a sacred
how
thing
many
for
pins?
the season?
How many pins are in the box? Because usually a season's only like 7 episodes.
It's a good point. Good point. So,
holy shit.
Shit. Oh, wait. Talk it. Hit. There we go.
Put it in front of your chest, John. Like right in the yeah, thank you.
So bring the mic over here. So it looks like we have, is that 12 or 1? Wait, I'm doing this backwards here. 1, 2. Talk. There we go.
There's 13, John. Yeah.
Okay.
13.
We got 13 pins. That would span
Crazy
2
Life
seasons.
just joined. Yeah. So I think we could give away one of those tonight as well.
All right. 2 spins.
2 spins. 2 spins. What do we got for pins there? I don't think we do Faces of Death yet, because that one is sacred and Beyond the Harmony.
Are you able to, when you do the spin though, I think we're missing like music for the drama. Maybe play boom boom boom. Oh no, because then we'll get flagged for playing music. But I think we need to, for future spins, we got to have some kind of theme music to make it more exciting.
All right.
Something that's copyright free.
We could I'd be okay giving away the Bone Thugs and Harmony one tonight down in the bottom.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
That's a nice general one to give away. We talked a lot of Mo Thugs. We could do the Mo Thug one too, but I think the Bone Thugs one might be the one to do.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a nice one. We'll send you a pin back with it. You should still have the pin backs, John.
Yep, I do have them.
Yeah.
I almost just I cut my finger just now pulling this thing out. I didn't realize how sharp it was.
Let's see. All right. It's 9:21.
Pinbacks.
I'm going to give y'all like 4 more minutes to join. If you want to join, beyondtheharmony.com. You can join the apprentice level for $3 a month. It's super cheap. Or you can head over to the Patreon. More expensive tiers over there. Joe Cal, one of our biggest supporters, is a Greek god of Beyond the Harmony legend. Recently just signed back on to be the 99th degree, $100 a month Beyond the Harmony Patreon supporter. Shout out to Joe Cal. He's our only super chat tonight, $50. Shout out to our man Joe Cal, man. He's laid it down.
I'll give him. If I had a master bedroom, I'll concede my master bedroom to Joe Cal.
Hey,
at the trip.
King of the Hill.
There's no one with a Beyond the Harmony plaque that hasn't played a part for Beyond the Harmony. We all have one. RC Thugster has one. Jordan Corey has one. Brother Clay has one. Feenics Ryzin has one. Ty-Wise has one. I think that's the whole squad, right?
Yeah, I think we got them all. Yep.
Oh, Capone has one.
Capone. And you said Feenics Ryzin, right?
Feenics Ryzin has one. If anybody else deserves one, it's fucking Joe Cal, man. You know?
Send me the address, Joe Cal. I'll have one shipped to you.
You know? Yeah, man. The Beyond the Harmony, the Bone Thug and Harmony pin. All right.
Is this the one you wanted? Because it does say Thug World Order.
No, that's the Thug World Order pin. All the way to
okay.
There's just a regular Bone Thugs and Harmony pin in there.
All right.
Yep.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Boom. Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Bone Thug.
Nice.
Boom. All right, let me get the names all loaded up right quick. Like,
I like that. Lib21 says he's already got him.
Yeah, he's on it, boy. All right, let's download this member list. This is your last chance to join. If you join at the buzzer right now, I'm going to add you. Downloading the list as we speak to put it in the big wheel. The big wheel.
Heck, anybody that no, actually I'll talk to Cecil about that first.
Oh, you about to say some crazy John shit.
Yeah. It's crazy John shit.
I can feel it in the air.
Yeah. Think of how much crazy John shit's gonna happen in Kissimmee.
In Florida.
Yeah.
None of us will walk away ever being the same.
Hey man,
you guys are stuck in the deep swamp.
I'm extremely excited. I think it's gonna be that's an amazing experience for us all, I think. So I look forward to us all being there, and it's just such a cool, we've toyed with this idea for years, right? ThugCon and all these things we wanted to do, and originally it was like, yo, let's get all the old Mo Thug, almost like a comic convention, but it's it's ThugCon, and that was like way out there. Although who knows someday, but for now, this is kind of like the ThugCon, and I'm pretty
ThugCon 1.
ThugCon 1.
And
all right, let me get the big goddamn wheel on your screen. Dun 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 dun. DNA Level C or SCT Warzone? What's your question? I love both of those, man. You are touching home, dude. I can tell you
about how sent.
the first time I went to SCT Warzone, I just remember the graphics now, it's like whatever. But at the time, I found SCT Warzone and I was like, yo, what the fuck is this? Don't get me wrong, DNA Level C was like all the fucking fire info, and they had that like the Bonepedia, like it was like a Wiki, it was like a dictionary of bone terms and shit. But there was just something about SCT Warzone. I loved them both. And what John wants me to tell you, Jem, is I don't know if you remember hellsent.com, but I started that motherfucking website back in the day. Hellsent.com.
By Lazy Thug 1999.
Yeah, that was me. He is I and I is him. All right, let's get browser.
You know, I realized too that I did you ever post any wacky stuff under my handle? Because I remember I handed it over to you for a while, Lyrical Fusion, or did you just use it to gain info that you needed for bone stuff?
Oh, on
Yeah, I never bothered to even check. Like I trusted you with the name, but you know, who knows?
on
Who knows what you did anonymously under?
was
Lyrical
it? Was
Fusion?
it on
Oh, a
BTNH board?
probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. No, I think it was just for me to info gain. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot that you had done that.
Yeah, something crossed my mind the other day about it.
Yeah, I forgot that you had done that. Yeah, T6P. Yeah, that was dope as well. That came later though. You know what I'm saying? Like T6P was dope, but like that was like evolved. You know, that was like the next wave of amazing bone shit. Like, you know, I remember the old angelfire.com Bone Thugs and Harmony websites, you know, and it was like, these are the corniest, shittiest, you know, GeoCity ass websites that ever existed. And it's like, yo, this is great.
We about to spin the damn thing. We're getting close to.
Yeah, I'm working on
the
it.
Cinderella pumpkin time.
I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it, man.
Okay, cool.
John's about to fall asleep at the keyboard.
You know, holding this up is making my day. Like I'm enjoying seeing it on screen. The thug line.
Oh man, this is my Wheel of Fortune. It's John holding up Bone Thug related
Usually just
paraphernalia.
it's been a funky fucking. Usually I can just add it real quick, and for some reason,
Bro, you know, a thing we could do too is record a posse cut when we're there at freaking. We could
record some music.
To make everybody not want to come. We could do Bone Thugs karaoke, guys.
Oh, I almost guarantee that's gonna happen. I don't know why.
I think
guys.
I'm not sure, like, I mean, I've been called arrogant once or twice in my life, but I'm not sure if we're like building up the mansion enough. So like maybe not tonight, it's way past John's bedtime, but we are trying to make more videos and get together more coming up, you know, so maybe we should make a short, maybe we should challenge ourselves and try to make a short video. And it could be, if anyone's on the fence about the mansion or ThugCon or what, I like how it doesn't really have a name.
Yeah, it doesn't have a name for sure.
Yeah, and don't worry, no baby oil. I was gonna early
It's not
say,
even funny, John.
yeah, I was gonna say ain't no party like a Cecil West party, but I was like, no, LeBron James ruined it.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of grown men living in a house together. It's don't ask any questions. If you weren't there, it didn't happen, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But it's like when we first were floating the idea, it reminded me of like the 90s. I know I called it the golden era earlier, but like there was so much money in pop music that like it was nothing that Ruthless said, here's this mansion we rented.
Go wreck it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and so
please
that's,
don't-
you know,
please
to me
don't
it's
wreck.
harkening back. No,
You
of
know.
course not. We're all old now, right? But like there's so many facets to this trip that's like harkening back to our childhood and or like the good old days or good times. You know what I'm saying? Looks like Cecil's got something.
I
on there.
got it. It took a second. I got it. All right.
Too bad there's
It's not centered though on YouTube.
It's not centered.
Look on
It's
YouTube.
too bad there's
it's
not
like-
an old bone video game out there besides the one of Crazy Hopping the Fence, because we could have land partied it up with an old bone game. There we go.
Is that better?
There's spin the bottle. Yep.
Is that better? Is that better, Matt? Hold on.
Oh yeah. I called you out.
There we go. Is that good
I
for you?
refreshed. Let me see.
There
Let
we
me
go.
see if
That-
I'm if this
Look at that list. So
bears
you got
the seal of
everybody.
Matt approval.
No, I'm about to.
This is what it usually looks like.
I'm about
and
to paste in the whole current list. So let me do
I
that.
think we compliment you every time, but the color scheme is perfect.
Yeah, love it.
All right. Here is our current list. Let's take me out. I don't need to win the shit. Let's take John out. He ain't got to win the shit.
Nope.
You think RC Thug still wants to stay in there?
Nah, take him out.
No, he would decline.
He would decline. He would decline. Okay. And then we also have, let me just go grab our Patreon people. Let's see. Joe Cal. Lib's in there. Lib was like, if I win, just give it to somebody else. But we're adding them. Here's our 3 extras. All right, guys, we got 33 entries right now. Let's shuffle them up.
And Joe Cal, send me your address to beyondtheharmony99@gmail.com. I'm gonna send you a plaque.
He's in like fucking like Iran or whatever.
Oh, really? What I'm send it to somebody in the States, or some base. I'll send it to some base on the East Coast.
All right, what are we spinning for first? The pin or the license plate? Probably the license plate.
Yeah, let's do the license plate first.
All right.
Joe Cal and SoCal. All right, Joe Cal and SoCal. Yeah, man. I'm gonna send you a beyondtheharmony99@gmail.com. I'm gonna send you a plaque.
Here we go. Spinning.
Here we go.
Spinning for the license plate.
Is it warming up? Is that a spin?
Yo, Daddy Locks has won before. I don't remember what he's won, but he's won before, and I don't think he claimed it before.
Shit,
I remember that name, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think he claimed it before, if I remember right.
I think you're right.
I think he's just been paying. He probably doesn't even know this is on his credit card. He's just been paying Beyond the Harmony for a year.
So, and I don't even know
who that
if he
is.
ever claimed it. Well, and if he ever claimed it, we'd have to go rewatch every single.
I don't think he
remember what
did.
he won.
But I'm gonna put it on the YouTube message board. Daddy Locks, you just goddamn won the Thug Line license plate. We're gonna remove him from the next spin. He's been.
Does anyone know him?
No, nobody knows this motherfucker, man.
We probably do. We just don't know him by Daddy Locks.
And he be winning, because if we did, he would have claimed the shit.
Oh, that's a good point. Good point.
Well, he won. We gonna put
Daddy
it up
Locks.
there. If he doesn't claim it, if he doesn't claim it by the Archie Blaine show, then we'll spin for it again. Let's shuffle them one more time. This is for the goddamn Bone Thugs and Harmony pin. It comes from the 30th year anniversary gold collection. You can only buy these as one big expensive set. Somebody's going to win this individual pin, and we're going to break up the Infinity Gauntlet.
Round it, go. What?
Hey, just like that, he joined tonight. He won tonight. The Enox Network just won just like that. It's that easy. He joined less than 10 minutes ago, and he's walking away with the pin. Beyond the Harmony 99@gmail.com.
He said, take me out. I have those.
Yeah.
He did?
He said he has everything. Yeah.
Enox did?
Like a minute ago. Yeah.
I thought that was somebody else. I thought that was Lib.
They both said. All right.
So here goes the
Everyone's got all this stuff, man.
Wow. Well, he still won.
Well, he said do a respin. So
all right. I'm just saying he won.
No, but take that as you can join and win instantly.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
10 minutes ago and won. All right. Well, see, I love that too. You see how cool Beyond the Harmony fans are? He could have just took that, but instead he said, nah, let somebody else get that. Like, I love Beyond the Harmony for that shit right there. Hey, Enoch, send Beyond the Harmony 99@gmail.com. Send us your address. I guarantee I'll send you something you don't have. BeyondTheHarmony99@gmail.com. Send me your address. All right, let's spin for the damn pin. Yo, get the fuck out of here.
It's the runes.
Lib21 with the win.
I'm okay. Didn't he say to take him out?
I think he did.
Maybe
Lib, you won. Do you want this pin? He said respin and my name comes up. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Removing all instances of him. He's out. You said you're in here 3 times. How are you in here 3 times?
Oh, is he on Patreon too?
Yeah,
Like,
he's definitely on Patreon.
So that's there you go. If he's because I see he's got the logo.
Crazy. Crazy. The 2 guys that were like, hey, if I win, take me out. All right, we're down to 29. Now you got a 1 in 29 chance of winning the pin now that back-to-back winners have graciously given you a second chance. Let's go.
Sorry, I love that Liar Starter knows that Eli had the Flesh and Bone comic. That's awesome.
Didn't they just join too? Like 10 minutes ago or some shit?
Yeah.
Nice.
There you go.
This is not rigged, I promise.
There you go, man. Again, you could join this 10 minutes before the spin and win. We finally got a winner. We finally got a winner. Everybody that hit tonight, send your name, your username, right? So if you're Enoch Network, make sure you send us that too so I know who it is. Send your name, your address, and your username, beyondtheharmony99@gmail.com. Everybody that spun tonight is going to get something. Everybody that hit. Lib, do the same thing. And obviously our 2 winners, Daddy Locks and Arkaka Nawawawa, fucking everybody won. beyondtheharmony99@gmail.com. Send us your name, your address, and your username. Everybody's going to get something tonight. Even the guys that said, I got both of those things. I'm going to send y'all something that you don't got. I got you. Send it on over. It's going down. That's the wheel for the night. I'm happy that we did it.
And in the email, let me know which one won what, because going from imaginary names to real names, I'm not the best.
Yeah,
at that.
say something in the email besides "I won." Here's my address. Yeah.
Yeah, let me know if it's the pin or the license plate, and yeah. Well, hey man, we spun the block. We did a good one, bro. This was an enjoyable time, and it's great chilling with the Beyond the Harmony fam, and we'll be pitching this little party, BTH meetup.
Join the Discord. Join the Discord. I'm glad we did this. We didn't come into this with anything to really do except to touch on the couple of things we did and talk a little bone and catch up with y'all and give away some stuff. BeyondTheHarmony99@gmail.com. If you hit on that wheel tonight, make sure you send us your name, your username, and your shipping address so we can get you out some shit. This was a lot of fun. We're going to try to start getting this on the regular. The 3 of us said we got to do it, even if it's just little one-off appearances like this. Let's make sure we're all getting together. It hypes us up. It gets us ready for season 6. The Discord is pinned to the top of the chat. We'll check you over there. My name is Cecil motherfucking West, rocking with the one and only
Jonathan, Beyond the Harmony Lippy.
And he is the co-hosting, coast to coasting, come up creeper, never sour, always sweeter, ladies and gentlemen.
I am Matthew Weaver.
And it is that time of the night. Feenics Ryzin, take us on home.
I'm the